Okay, so here I'll just press the go live button and we'll figure out any technical errors live. So it seems like either my noise gate is just broken or for whatever reason it hears you and whenever you talk my thing goes loud seemingly.
Oh, that's weird.
See? Like how's that happen?
I mean, are you playing like it out loud or are you wearing headphones?
I'm wearing headphones. This has never happened before.
Yeah, that does make sense. Well, I guess just see if when we talk if you have problems.
Yeah, that's so weird. It just keeps going up whenever you talk. Like I don't know how that's even possible. But Space or Mr. Spiraling, can you confirm stream sounds awful or not? I mean, I can't even. Whenever you talk, my thing goes for. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely really loud for some reason. Let me.
It's really bad.
Really loud. So let me. I don't know why. Let me just change microphones and then change back, and hope that will work. I'm guessing it didn't. Here, let me unplug. Okay. Maybe that didn't work either.
Results? Well, how is it working? Is it working? Well, yes or no?
Okay. Well, there we go. Yeah, it's whenever because Discord is annoying and I have to like redo it there as well. But yeah. Here, well, what I can do for now is just turn it down a lot. And that's probably going to be still awful, but maybe it's listenable to. Kamui sounds weird, but Ood fine.
Well, that could just be that does make sense. If depends on whether it sounds weird to you as well.
Yeah, it's whenever what I can do for now is just turn it down a lot. I sound fine based on after turning it down, so I'll just assume it's good for now.
Okay, well,
okay. Whatever works. Well, now that that's settled and everything else is a thing, so what are we talking about today?
Well, for the stream viewers, it's gonna be a quick stream because I have another, I guess, 25 minutes of driving or something. Then I gotta find parking and then go from parking to the airport. And then when I get to TSA, I'm probably just gonna call it good because then it's just gonna be like 20 minutes max. So
yeah,
we can just see. Maybe I can just mute for 10 minutes if you have someone else on for a minute, but we'll figure that out later. But it's probably gonna be quick.
Okay.
So I figured either just more Boruto topics or rewrites.
I don't know. I feel like rewrites might take a long time unless there's any short ones here. Oh, okay. Axel did have one.
There probably are, but I just can't see them off the top of my head.
Okay, you know what? I'll just do short ones. So, and this is a Boruto one. Shout out Boruto's 10th anniversary. You know, the one that we can't stop being right about, Cap. That's the title. But Kamui, screw Amado's stupid nonsense anti-Byakugan pills. He gives Boruto Shibai cells instead. I don't care about the rest.
That one, it just depends on what you want to do with it. Like, so that one's obviously cool. It just depends on where you want to go with that for me.
I mean, I'm so sick of the nonsense of his weird heart attack thing and everything else didn't do anything or change, or it was just
Well,
weird
yeah,
anyways.
so that would obviously like. I'm assuming you're just like casting aside the rewrite the pills to be good in the next arc. Rewrite for this
Well,
topic.
well,
You're just not
obviously,
considering.
I think the nonsense of you have to take one per month or whatever it was, that's just nonsense anyways. The whole idea, I think narratively, the reason it was here was more for the Boruto's decision to take it, like, immediately. Um,
Exactly.
the whole, like, life or death instance. And that could just be, like, a
Exactly.
one-time thing anyways.
He gulped like 7 pills all at once anyway, so it should just be like he just has to do it like one time thing.
Yeah, and then it
And
could just
frankly,
be,
it
like,
doesn't
the
have to
same
be a
thing.
pill.
I
It
don't
could
know,
always just be
Kawagi.
like this doesn't change really change anything, even in the Byakugan pill, right? It could be instead of a pill, like an Amado science experiment to where he just weakens the Byakugan because he knows how to do that or something. Like he can always just do a modification that way as well.
Yeah, I know technically that Amado
Now,
said that he's been giving this to Kawaki for years, but behind Jigen's
that's
back
only
to
in the
slow him
anime too,
down.
though. So you know,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't even know
but
that.
also again, okay, you could just tweak that to say Amado's Ninja Tech experiment did the same thing. So another thing you could do. Now this one can be done one of two ways.
Well, real quick, I do
Um,
want to say on even though it's anime only, in a way it's kind of necessary, assuming you want to keep it to where both Boruto and Kawaki are around the same extracted percentage of like 80%, despite Kawaki having his karma for
yeah,
years.
yeah. Well, the only other explanation, like the manga explanation, would just be the normal rate of extraction is so negligibly slow it doesn't make a difference, and the only reason they're at where they're at is Resonance basically did
No,
all the work.
I know, but even then,
But
like
yeah, I agree
if
though.
it's
That's still
that slow, then like Kawaki's still aging. Like, would it even extract within Kawaki's natural lifespan? Like, what's even the point of
I
karma at
know,
that
like you
point?
like because Jigen, but
Well, Jigen is like
yeah,
weirdly Otsutsuki Ishiki
yeah,
brain to
he's
where he lived for
everything.
1,000 years. I don't think that counts because Ishiki didn't age,
Yeah,
or sorry, Jigen didn't age. So that's part of the problem. Kawaki
that is
does.
true. So,
I
but that
don't
also is weird. I know. That's a separate thing.
know. Yeah.
It's cool but very weird.
Yes.
But what I was gonna say is, if you want something, you could do is try to tie this idea. This can be either with the ship I sell idea or separate from it. Doesn't matter for this. But you
Oh, well, there goes Kamui's Wi-Fi. And it's not my fault this time. But I wonder what he was gonna say. Well, Kamui, whenever you get out of your tunnel, I'd love you to take it from the top.
could tie
Oh, there he is for a
the concept
second. Hey, Kamui, you've been cutting out. If you wanna say that again.
with code in his white karma. You really have one of two ways.
Oh, there he
One
is.
option is if Amado, one you could have Amado try to. Now, of course, in that case, it's when Code initially got Karma. Karma's extraction. So with Code, it was out. When did I start cutting out?
Oh my
From
god.
that?
It always just randomly jump cuts from you talking to you saying that. Pretty much from the beginning. So interesting to imagine what that must be like from your side. We'll just get long moments of silence and then just it'll be cutting to you in the middle of your sentence. I'm wondering what time dilation mixed with you just cutting out is happening here. But anyways, see, this is part of the frustrations with streaming at not night because I know this is always going to happen. There he goes. Ah, what do you know? Oh, hey, Eddie's back. Well, I can't hear you, so let me try leaving. How about now? That was kind of what I figured. Well, I guess, Mr. Spiraling, you get your wish.
Hello.
Hello.
It's been a long time. How have you been doing, Oodie?
Well, I've been trying to get Kamui back.
I expected you to run me up. Oh, hello, mortal.
Hey, what's up?
Someone I haven't talked to in a while.
I've
Longer
just been
than
working
having not
lately.
talked to Oodie. Nice,
Everyone
man.
join the Discord, and you can post the funny monkey too.
Yeah. Say again, sorry?
I was just talking to the, the stream people. I might as well just invite GP too. Got it. Okay, well, any questions, let us know.
Guys, it's raining a lot right now.
Oh, well, it's dry as a bone over here.
Yeah, well, I live in the UK, so it rains at random points. So yeah.
Yeah, you do have a lot of rain over there from what I hear. But, Immortal,
Yeah,
Mr.
you
Spiraling.
should come visit sometime, man. You should
Well,
come. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, but what have you guys thought about the Shibai Cell rewrite that I've done with Boruto here?
Well,
I haven't
why would
seen
a
any.
mother give Shibai cells to Boruto in the first place?
Why would he give
figure
Byakugan
the
pills to Boruto in the first place? Just to write the same explanation.
when that would be?
It's on the surface level, it's to stop or slow down the extraction of Moboshiki's karma. On the, I guess, deeper level, it's whatever Amado's secret plan is that we still don't know.
True, we don't know his secret plan. I think the Shibai cells probably would slow down the mummification, if that makes sense. um, much faster than the Byakugan cells, most likely.
Yeah, but
So, yeah.
welcome back, Kamui.
Mummification. Yeah, you have to say you got that from me, okay? If you ever say mummification, you have to say you got it from me. Anyways,
Gotcha.
yeah. Do you think the mummification? Do you believe that the Shibais will stop the mummification much faster or like better than the Byakugan?
Well, regardless of much faster or better, if it's a rewrite where it's just replacing it, it would just be the same thing.
Good
it
boy,
just...
can you hear me right now?
Okay, we can hear you again.
Okay.
My favorite.
Well, it was weird. Like, the
Kamui.
stage disappeared from me, and it was doing all this weird shit that made no sense, and eventually stage returned.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously for the rewrite, you would just write it to how you want it, like what he said.
So what was the extra bonus thing that you were saying before you cut out immediately?
Yeah, so I'll just restart.
you.
So there's more than one way you can do it, which I'll get into both ways. But something you could do is essentially tie at least a similar principle, if not the same principle, behind Code's White Karma Seal being a failure, and
Ooh.
whether this is shit by cells or pills doesn't matter. And Boruto's karma slowing down, and same thing for Walky. So the two main ways are either Amado intentionally did this with Code, and in his case, it was right when he first got karma, so it never extracted. Whereas for Boruto and Walky, karma was already there, so all he could do was slow it down or halt it. He can't undo what was already done. This could not be extracting anymore if he does the same concept again. The other way is that Codes is a failure. It's just a failure, accident, whatever. And Amado's just trying to replicate it based off what he learned through code experiments afterwards. And then he's applying that theory to Boruto and Kawaki. So instead of just being a random pill, it could be based on code, basically.
Okay. Could be interesting.
Which
if, like...
arguably probably is, in my opinion, whether it's pills or not, it's probably better than the Byakugan suppressant pills, because while that's cool and interesting and all, like, the Byakugan just works for Boruto, like, he has no consequences. Like, we're seeing him use the Byakugan without the veins, so it's clearly not hindered by any means. So, it didn't do that. It didn't do anything. Shigen didn't even have a Byakugan. I know Ishiki did, but Jigen didn't. So it's like, it just seems weird. Whereas I think the karma idea could just, using a failed karma as a basis for stopping karma seems a little bit more reasonable. Especially since this is the same arc where they literally talk about code. Like, they talk about code and then immediately after do the pill. So why not combine the two ideas together?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Plus,
Okay.
Oodie, okay, you are the only person who will understand this and care about this. You love it. I know it's not what the karma stopgap is, but that's not even really a thing. That's just you calling it the karma stopgap. But in this rewrite, that can actually be a term that is there and makes sense.
Okay.
So,
okay. I'll take
You'll get your wish.
No, when I got to the stopgap mention in the anime, I almost paused just to like say in the Discord, I'm at the stopgap part, in the same way that I said that like at a couple other moments.
I'm the only person who would understand.
Yes.
I've got a question, guys. How has Amado been doing in the series? What is he up to? That's fishy so far, because I haven't kept up with Boruto in a while.
Absolutely nothing.
Literally.
Nothing.
Yeah, as usual.
You know what? In my
Correct, he has
opinion,
not done
there-
a thing. Ever.
okay, you know what? Based off having good media literacy of stories, I can deduct that there's going to be two things are going to happen. Either we're going to find out his plan, but it's either going to be off-screen or irrelevant, and then it'd just be a useful plot line. And and Ikimoto's a horrible writer, or Kishimoto, whoever who write the story. Or it's going to be
Well, I
something
think you know
massively
the
big and
answer to
crazy
that one.
out of nowhere. So again,
Would it be the first
I think you know the
off-screen
answer to
thing
that
he wrote?
whatever. It's either those two options, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was the first option. Because Boruto is Boruto, but that's just my opinion.
I'm still waiting for Shikadai to blow up.
I would. No, that's interesting. Wait, what chapter are we on right now in Boruto? What's the latest one called? What's the latest number?
33. Well, what it's
33 or
called
something.
wouldn't help you in terms of
33,
what
okay.
chapter it is, but you know.
Yeah. It's titled
Chapter
like "Shut
33,
Up"
that's
or
interesting.
something.
That was like 1 or 2 ago,
that's
but
so rude of
I
me.
love that we can't get that out of our head.
I think that was like 3 chapters ago, but it's fine.
But Kamui, I like the idea of linking it to Code's white karma, especially since that's like a thing for this arc in particular. So you might as well. You could also maybe link it to the what was it? The full essence or pure essence? Pure essence. Yeah, you could link it to that maybe.
Yeah, karma. Well, it's karma's true essence, is
True
what
essence.
Code says.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's, I mean, that depends if you want to rewrite that, because that, as it is it what half the fandom thinks it is? All it is just saying, this is using karma to its fullest. It's just, this is the true power of karma, as opposed to the half power that you were only using before. It's not more than that.
Yeah, I don't know, it's just weird anyways, considering Boruto said, oh, this has never happened before, when all he has is, like, the Byakugan now, but that's not what he's talking about. He's talking about his karma, but he doesn't have the horn state, so it's just weird.
It's just weird, yeah, no, but,
It's just,
yeah.
hey,
I like the linking
Yeah.
it to the karma idea better.
Yeah, it may be, like, this might be going too far, as slipping away from the rewrite, but maybe Code's karma is a white karma because it's from Shibai rather than from Ishiki, and only when an Otsutsuki transcends.
I've actually
turns
done
white.
that exact topic before. And that would work well if you're going to say it was Amado shenanigans and him doing this on purpose with the Shibai cells.
Yeah, so rather than the extraction not existing, it's because the Otsutsuki has transcended, and that's another Otsutsuki stopgap measure.
And another thing you could do is that, like, because obviously the other members of Kara don't have karmas, they were never meant to. Ishiki could have not wanted Shibai cells on Jigen or Kawaki because it would mess up the karma, and then Amado throws him into Code, either because that's before they realized it would mess it up, or he intentionally did that to mess it up.
Yeah.
And then he could just secretly do. Well, the problem is if he secretly does it to Kawaki and it messes it up, you have to explain why his still works. But
I mean, there is just another possibility that we could have either Boruto or Kawaki
or both of them. So I guess all three, Boruto, Code, and Gawky, could just have white karmas going forward. I don't know if we like that, but it's a possibility.
That would be cool, but then that just means we lose Momoshiki. And not because of prophecy or anything, but just because of Amado.
Well, his soul existing inside Boruto is separate from the karma anyways.
Well, is it?
I mean, the Nine Tails doesn't have a karma on Naruto.
Okay. I mean, I guess you could have read it to where it stops that. And I mean, honestly, okay. Give me your thoughts.
Isn't the seal
on...
technically karma?
Well, I was thinking about this. So, there are some ramifications that you have to work through, but this is the idea, at least. Screw Kawaki, quote-unquote, killing Boruto, and Momoshiki resuscitating, but actually reviving, but actually, no, he didn't die, he resuscitated him, but no, he actually died. Instead of all that bullshit, it's just the Amado, whatever, the pills, the Shibai cells, the whatever it is, stop the karma extraction. Momoshiki still remains, and now he has to do his new plan with the prophecy. So in this case, it's like, I guess it's a little bit more just like, okay, Amado just solved the problem, but then it's not actually going to solve the problem because Momoshiki's still a problem. But then the big question is, what do we want to do about Kawaki killing Boruto? Is he going to try to kill him, but then Boruto's able to just heal, and Kawaki didn't finish him off fully like he needs to, but why didn't he finish him off? Like, what's the explanation there? So that we can still keep Kawaki trying to kill Boruto and all this stuff that's narratively there because of that.
I mean, I don't know if it's presented the same way in the manga, but in the anime, it's so very clearly, obviously, Kawaki's doing the same thing to Boruto that he did to Garo, and that didn't kill Garo, it just made him throw up a little bit. To be fair, I mean...
I know, bro, I have a whole rant about that. Garo, he's not special. Boruto with his Uzumaki genes, his karma that regenerates, his broken spine and arms, and all this shit. They can't do anything about this. The Garo can tank.
I don't know. I mean, that's not to say Garo wouldn't have died from that if Kawaki didn't just kill him afterwards anyways. But, I mean, Boruto never threw up.
Boruto was just, like, out immediately.
Yeah, well, that's also just another thing. To be fair, you could say it's because of the size between the two. Like, there's just more
that's
area.
The problem. Garo was just way bigger.
Well, yeah, but that's to say that for Garo, it would technically be less of a devastating injury as it would for Boruto, potentially.
No, bro. Even when you factor in Garo's size, the proportional amount of Garo that was like destroyed is just bigger. Kawaki's attacks there are just bigger.
Okay.
Including his explosion. It's bigger than the Kodark one.
Okay. Well, that's besides the point.
Garo hated Garo.
You know, Kawaki probably should have just started with the explosion. I don't know why he did the fist through Boruto in the first place.
Yeah, like literally, I guess for Naruto's sake or something.
I mean, he wouldn't even have to deal with the prophecy arc at that point.
Exactly.
Momoshiki stopped bringing him back for that one. But what does Immortal think about that? Well, maybe Immortal's still thinking. Mr. Spiraling, what's up?
I was gonna say, we should go over Axel's rewrite idea.
The one from recently? We could do that.
Yeah, if Kashi never developed her,
I had a related one.
We'll think back because things ripple. So,
to be fair,
Kashi never developed Chidori, how would the story will go? That's the question.
Well, there's a lot of things here. First of all, so obviously, addressing the elephant in the room, if he never develops Chidori, he dies immediately after Obito.
Well, why would that be the case?
Because he can't kill the elite cloud Jonin guy who's going to kill him.
Could we say that Kakashi becomes more versatile as a fighter, meaning that he would be able to defeat the Cloud Jonin,
No.
Elite Cloud Jonin.
The way to get around this would be Minato
I mean,
shows up
he still has to
earlier.
stay alive. We have to make him able to stay alive in some way. What technique?
Well,
What,
exactly.
does he
So
learn
you
the
could have
Rasengan?
that guy be weaker. You could have Minato show
Yeah,
up.
sure.
You could do whatever excuse of he's more versatile now and blah blah blah. Even though that doesn't really work that way, but you know.
Well,
Whatever
okay,
works.
we'll say. I think we'll say he's a bit weaker just to make it easier. Is that a bad excuse, guys?
I think Minato showing up like 5 seconds earlier is just a little better, but you know, either way,
Sure, we'll do that. Then we'll do that.
sure.
I think also, but the versatile thing I think will still happen. I think he will become more versatile. If it be the case, he actually does utilize 1,000 jutsus he knows.
Exactly.
Actually, or like, yeah, a variety of jutsu. I believe the way he teaches Sasuke will be different. There's also a chance he just like decides to really put his effort into the Rasengan because he knows the Rasengan. We know that he knows it, and he probably. Well, the question is, at what point did he learn the Rasengan? Because if we assume he learned the Rasengan during training with Minato, during the period of training with Minato, then at that point when he had he had the Sharingan in his eye after Obito dies, supposedly dies, fake dies, then what's it called? Then he should be able to use the Rasengan at that moment if he thought of it at the moment. So, what do you guys think?
I mean, regardless if he thought of it or if he copied it, he would just still have it early on, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm saying like, do you think there's a chance he learned it when he didn't have the Rasengan? Like, sorry, the Sharingan. Because that could just happen. I mean, like he would. I think it's very doable. Like Kashi's talented enough to learn it in a couple months.
I mean, Kamui has a whole topic on this, so
Okay, because like Minato took 2 years to make the Rasengan because he was the creator of it. Obviously, if someone taught Minato the Rasengan, he would learn it in a very quick time period. The reason it took him so long was because he was the one who created it. Creating is different from learning. But I don't know. But anyways, I'd say the best thing is we can just say that Minato came a bit earlier.
I mean, if the
I do still
frickin'
think
loser Naruto can learn it in a week, anyone can. Konohamaru learned it quick too.
how long did Konohamaru take to learn it?
Not long.
Yeah, true. But Konohamaru is talented, no?
I mean, tell that to Boruto, Eric Konohamaru.
Sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
You think Naruto's a loser?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think he's a loser. What makes him a loser?
He could barely throw a shuriken straight. You want to call him a
Yeah, but he
ninja?
needs some confidence boost. He needs the confidence. But it's
He
just like
is
when he was in
infinite
academy.
chakra. Outside of that, he can't do anything.
What? Since when? Are you saying in the part 1?
Yes. He got a little bit more
all of
refined for part
part
2.
1.
Still a little dirty, but
I mean, when he did
Second-
versus Gaara, it didn't require Rasengan.
Yeah, so also this is just
You know,
part of the
everywhere,
problem.
you can say, yeah, I can barely throw a shuriken, but everywhere shuriken is nothing.
but here's just another issue we're running into. If Kakashi
What
has
about Clone
Rasengan,
Body Slam?
oh my god.
Yeah.
If Kakashi has Rasengan, that just replaces the Chidori, and the story goes the exact same in every scenario. You just use Rasengan instead of
Yeah,
Chidori
exactly.
everywhere.
It's just
Yeah,
gonna
and
be a
then it'll
Rasengan
be-
clash.
Yeah, exactly. Who has a stronger Rasengan? We could. How about? I mean, this could make the story interesting. Maybe at a point in the story, it goes where Sasuke utilizes lightning in his Rasengan, and Naruto utilizes the wind. Then it'd be Rasengan Shuriken versus lightning Rasengan.
Yeah, so depending if you want the Boruto movie or the Boruto anime, that's gonna change that.
I don't care
style.
about Boruto. Doesn't exist in this version. Boruto. Let's forget about Boruto. Let's assume it's like completely different utilization of lightning. I think it's such BS. I don't know how you. Wait, wait, how
Well,
did
it's
they
actually wind
say that
style.
is-
It's style in the movie.
Exactly.
Yeah, Windstyle's the reason. I was gonna say that's good. Yeah. So I don't know. I think personally, I think it would probably be something like that because it would be a contrast between both of them being able to do it. It'll probably be the case where Sasuke will be able to. How would they do it? I think what will happen is that in part two, sorry, the first time Naruto and Sakura go to see Sasuke, right, or save him, whatever, interact with him. I think that we will see the Rasen, the how do we call it? Lightning Rasengan? I think that yeah, right. Light Rasengan, right? And then Naruto won't know where it is because he's a bit of a dum dum. Then we'll go the story continues, and we all go to the training arc with Yamato and Kakashi, and then from there we will see Naruto to say talking to Kakashi. We'll see Kakashi say, "I heard, in the fight against Sasuke, Yamato probably will know it's on the way Yamato will describe it to Kakashi. It will make Kakashi think, hey, probably it's a variation of the Rasengan, the way it looks, right? Lightning Rasengan. And then Naruto like, oh yeah, I didn't know that was Rasengan. Yeah, you didn't know, you absolute idiot. And then obviously we'll have Naruto learning the wind, Rasengan, the Rasen Shuriken. So yeah, I think that's how story will go the same. I do agree with Dude. I do agree.
Well, I wonder what
I do agree.
Kamui thinks.
Yeah, what do you think, Kamui?
Honestly, I'm trying to eat this yogurt really fast because I forgot I had this in the car. So I'm just gonna eat this really quick.
What flavor yogurt is it? It's just like normal flavor, or anything in it?
It's mocha tiramisu.
Ew.
No clue what that is. No clue.
See, when I think of yogurt flavors, I'm like, blueberry, strawberry, maybe some black cherry or vanilla, mocha tiramisu.
Yep.
Okay. You're not even spicing it up with like a mixed berry or anything. You're just going hog wild over there.
It's pretty darn good.
Kamui, why did you change the name of the group chat?
Mr. Spiraling, you're asking a question you know the answer to.
Well, Mr.
The
Spiraling,
answer.
Since you wanted to take this private matter into a public issue, I suppose we can look at the group chat here on stream.
This is not a private matter. This is not a private. This is dumb.
So,
dumbness,
of the 4 members in the half-gay group chat between me and Kamui and Mrs. Spiraling and Cam, of which we know her orientation. Mrs. Spiraling, I'm thinking... I'm thinking that the truth becomes very obvious as soon as you calculate the numbers.
I mean, the math is quite simple here.
Just do the math.
This accusation sounds like a confession from Kamui and Oodie. What is going on between you two? Sounds like a confession between Kamui and Oodie, guys.
Mr. Spiraling, I don't remember how it started. All I know is that it's continuing.
I don't even know how it started as well. I think it started with Naruto and Sasuke we were talking about. I think that's how it started. And to be honest, I've been seeing so many. I've been getting Naruto reels on Instagram now, and I get them. And there's so many memes of like Naruto and Sasuke being gay. It's like, oh my god, this is. It reminds you of the group chat every time, man.
The guy who shares a certain something in common with the camera. Yeah, it might have started. It was probably before this, but I remember starting with Mr. Spiraling trying to seduce that flamingo.
No, that was way later. The flamingo was not a play. That was way later. The flamingo, and by the way, the flamingo accusation is completely false. Oodie is making stuff up continuously. He is confessing by.
He finally realized he's supposed to deny it. Okay. It took him a while.
No. You're look, guys. Every accusation is a confession. You have to, or most accusations are confessions.
So you admit it.
Accusation is a confession for the person they accused you of something, because they probably do it themselves. Just listen. That's a little life skill for the fellow viewers of the stream.
Mr. Spiraling,
try telling that to a prosecutor in a court of law, and you'll realize why that doesn't work.
Well, we're not in a prosecutor in the court of law. We are on YouTube. This is completely different.
Prosecuting you. Make no
And this
mistake.
can still be used against you.
So,
Doesn't matter
Mr.
where you are.
Spiraling,
Well,
why did
sure,
you post a video of your
use
grandpa?
anything against me. I literally live in a different country. Come on, go use something against me when I live in a different country. That's what I thought.
Information is all around the place, buddy.
Yeah,
It
you're
sounds
gonna
like even
extradite me to the United States? Is that what you're gonna do? You're gonna
It sounds like
extradite me
even
to the United
Immortals
States?
are there for the truth.
Good luck, guys. You're not extraditing me to the United States. No way.
So, Immortal, what do you think about this whole revelation of Mr. Spiraling?
I had no idea that he
It's false.
does stuff like that.
It's
Well,
false. It's false. There's
Now
no truth to this.
that you've
You know, it's funny.
realized his
Actually, no.
true
I remember why
colors-
this happened. It was because I talked about how people would accuse me falsely back in high school. What you got? Secondary school. Of course, secondary school here in the UK, but high school, right? I talked about how back in high school when I was younger, right? The people who accused me of such things. And how it wasn't true, and Kamui and Oodie being the manipulators and the people who go who gain satisfaction over mocking individuals, use this against me. So yeah,
Mr. Spiraling
So,
couldn't
did they-
stop talking about how gay he was.
He just
no,
couldn't get
not in any way. That's not true.
I actually plan on.
Well, now that he's
Check it
revealed
out.
his true colors, I'm sure this shines him in a new light for you, Immortal.
No, it doesn't. No,
yeah.
it doesn't. Viewers, Oodie is actually gay. I'm not
Got
gay in
a
any way. This
huge
is-
revelation.
No, nothing wrong with it, by the way. Nothing wrong with it. Just don't accuse me. Every false accusation is a confession of the person that accused me.
Spiraling,
That is how
I'm
it
glad you're
works.
saying that. So, by your argument, every accusation is a
Finish your yogurt,
confession.
man.
But you just accused Oodie of being gay, so we got.
No, but he's the first person to accuse me. He's the first one. No. He's the
Now
first
it's like
person
a
to accuse me.
solid
of
1
false
minute
claims.
later. I love
I
that.
didn't do it first. No. This did not
You
start with me.
walked
This
your
started with
own
Oodie. Oodie's the one who
trap.
first accused me.
You
So I'm accusing
admitted
him
it,
back,
'cause
but
remember,
it's
it's
true.
not our argument, so we don't have to say that
It
applies.
is your argument. You said it first. You accused me first of such things.
Oh,
I
he's
said
lost in the
that-
sauce.
Do I need to
Your
bring out the screenshots? No, checking.
Yeah, Mr. Spiraling, we do not want to know the sauce you're lost in.
What?
Mr. Sprout, we
That's
don't need to see the screenshots you're sending with those other people. Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's just
Yeah, by the way,
Well, we know
Anyways,
Naruto's dream is to be
Kamui, finish
Hokage.
your
Mr.
yogurt.
Spiraling, you can keep your sick dream to yourself.
Yeah.
But now that the truth has come out, I wonder what the next
Yeah, so I probably have time
topic
for like
is.
one more
No
rewrite
such thing as
topic.
the truth. This is not truth. Falsehood.
Well, Kamui, when it comes to rewrite topics, so-
Well, the one that was related was okay, so you had a Boruto topic where I said I'm addressing this in rewrites. Actually, if you can find where I said that, and then read your topic, and then find the rewrite that corresponds to that.
oh, well, I found the rewrite that corresponds to it.
Okay, that's fine. We can just start there.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Since you
you're gonna
probably
need to
don't
read
know.
it for me.
This is so stupid. I hate this. Oh my god. I realize this can have ramifications, but Kamui thinks it's easy to either write around or just straight up is the point, which would be interesting. Why does Kawaki not ask for Ninja Tech upgrades in the Code Arc and instead doesn't do Blue Vortex? Let's address it from multiple angles and change it too. Why doesn't Kawaki do this in the Code Arc? Couple of reasons. These aren't changes, just establishing some groundwork for the point. Kawaki was giving the ninja way a chance at the end of chapter 58. You say that like I know what chapter it is. Boruto won the bet, so naturally he would go for Amado upgrades. Where this gets weird is his decision to sacrifice himself to Code immediately afterwards, suggesting he isn't giving the ninja away a chance. Let's tweak these to make them more consistent, a separate rewrite that we will address here for the help. He
We can
goes,
skip that for now.
yeah. Well, I'll gladly stop here for now if you have something to say.
Not yet. Honestly, I'm just really trying not to pee my pants. I gotta go so bad.
Okay. Well, is that what you wanted me to stop for?
I was just saying that we don't have to do that extra thing right now.
Oh,
Dude, how do I get to the airport? I should pay attention when I come here more often.
Kamui, what state are you going to?
I'm going to Ohio for a music festival. But please continue.
Well,
Ohio.
first he's going to Atlanta.
As a non-US citizen and a resident, someone never been to the US. All I know about Ohio is memes of back in the day.
You know, all I know about it is that that's what this music festival is. That's about it.
Really? Who are you going to the music festival with? By yourself?
My brother is meeting me there.
Oh, nice. Hope you two enjoy the music festival.
We will. But Oodie, you were saying something about a rewrite.
Well, yeah, so you wanted me to stop there, and,
No, I didn't. I was saying that we don't have to. I'm saying we can keep going. We don't have to do that extra part right now. Just because of time.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you stopped me to tell me that we don't have to do that. We can keep going. So to clarify, Kamui, you stopped me to tell me that I could keep going.
Because the rewrite implies that we would discuss it.
But okay, but again, you stopped me.
Yes, that's fine. Okay, whatever. Look, I gotta pee like crazy, and that's all I'm thinking about right now.
Okay, he goes to sacrifice himself, and everything happens the way it does. Why does he wish for karma? Several reasons. One, he instinctively did rely on it, as he noticed in chapter 58, and Amado alluded to Kawaki missing during the Ishiki fight. 2, Amado's offer and the fear he instilled in Kawaki about Naruto. And 3, he knows Otsutsuki are strong, and the reason Naruto lost his power and is in danger right now in the first place. And karma is the power he's witnessing Code and Borushiki use in this very moment, so naturally it's what he would want to fight against it. At this point in time, all Kawaki knows is karma and whatever Amado ninja tech. That's all the information he has. This is important going into the 2 blue vortex part, which is the main change. Why does Kawaki learn after the Code arc? Shibai cells. It's what makes Code, Ada, and Damon so strong, especially Ada and Damon. Kawaki doesn't ask Amado for mystery ninja tech like Boro, who's fodder to Kawaki at this point. He asks for Shibai cells. He confronts Amado on this. We could take a few different approaches, hence the ramifications point at the beginning. You know, the one that we stopped to not talk about. But 3 different options here. The first one being, he's direct. Amado, I know you know where Shibai's remains are. Take me to them and implant his cells into my body. He uses his so on the nose. He uses his FaceTime ninjutsu to get there if Amado doesn't have them with him. Or 2, he asks for an upgrade, and Amado suggests the Shibai cells. This is all part of his secret plan. It doesn't have to be, but I think it's better if it is, rather than just being plot convenience. Or 3, Kawaki and or Amado are vague about it for now, and later on it's revealed that Shibai cells are what Amado used to upgrade Kawaki. Kawaki is the only inner member of Kara who didn't get Shibai cells originally, hence why he was so much weaker than all the other inner pre-Ishiki Karma power-up.
So that last part is technically not confirmed. It just kind of like seems to be the case.
Well, regardless of that, I wonder what Immortal thinks about this idea.
What? So if Kawaki's going to get the cells of Shibai from Amado,
instead of the just adjust my defense, offense, whatever bullshit,
He just gets Shibai cells. That's the upgrade for Two Boot Vortex.
Okay. So it's also more so how is he going to obtain it from or get it from
He
above?
can be literally the same power, stronger, weaker, doesn't even matter, but just make him the same. It's just a matter of the explanation for what he did and why.
I'll add for my Boruto has Shibai cells. Maybe it's a thing if it takes a while to kick in or whatever. In which case that works for Boruto for over the time skip, why he got so much stronger.
Let's say that part again before the Boruto getting strong.
So assuming that the Shibai cells take time to like really kick in, it could explain why Boruto wasn't immediately stronger in the Code Arc if we're changing it from the
Like with your previous
yeah, with the Byakugan pills to the Shibai cells. It could be similar to how Koji needed to awaken his blah blah blah. In this case, it could be the same for Boruto, to where maybe that's Momoshiki's prophecy, is Boruto awakening his Shibai cells or whatever nonsense they want to do there. Could play into it anyways. But
yeah, I mean, it depends on whether you want it to be the same or not.
Yeah, but back to
I guess for this instance, we could have Amato. We could have like Kawaki did what he did back in chapter 18 when he pretty much went up to Amato and was about to and pinned him against the wall, forcing him.
Yeah, he would do the same thing.
Yeah, like when he was trying to get him to rescind his limiters and have his offensive power at its max. So what could happen is that now we don't know what now Shibai cells is unpredictable because you don't know what kind of power you'll gain from him. But I like to believe that since Kawaki has already been genetically rewritten to be an Otsutsuki because of the Karma Seal, maybe, just maybe, the cells might react a little differently than he did with Code. Because for, I guess, Code, I don't know, it's a little weird because the backstory on Code is like this. So when Code had the cells of Shibai inside of him, I'm guessing that some bit of his power, or maybe some dormant power within him, awakened, and it kind of caused him to have the ability to, potentially usurp Jigen. And I'm guessing this power is the reason why Amato was, ordered to place limiters on Codes. That way, Jigen wouldn't be overthrown. But as far as Kawaki, though, his power might be something far beyond. Oh, shoot. Notifications keep popping up on my PC. So, as far as Kawaki, his power might go far beyond that of Hishiki's. And maybe something within Kawaki, like, I don't know, maybe a more advanced Kokugan or his, or whatever, might spring about, bringing him closer to the levels of Shibai, if that would ever be the case. Kawaki might end up forcing Amato to, constantly do procedures on him to see if he can find a way to get the cells active. Because knowing Kawaki, he will go for extreme methods of how he can obtain power. Because that's pretty much been, consistent with his character. Well, not really consistent with his character, but it's more like it became this way once he regained the Karma Seal again after during the Code Arc, after the Code Arc. And so he's probably after the Code Arc and during TBV after sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry. Sorry, I got distracted by after the Jura fight and him realizing that, okay, Jura is a monster. I need to gain more power, and the current power where I'm at is not going to be enough to kill him or any of the Shinjus or any of Boruto. So depending on whether or not if later on throughout the arc, Borishiki shows up, yeah, he's probably gonna force Amato to do something. But knowing Amato, he probably might have an ace up his sleeve because we know Amato is pretty cunning, and he is also and he also has fail safes in place just in case if
He's all yours. He's all yours. Earbuds come out.
But yeah.
Kamui mute himself like
Any
that.
drinks in the back?
He's gonna go on a plane in a second.
Hey, Kamui is,
Kamui, what the hell?
yeah,
Just
he's,
go see
doing
Steve.
some airport thing.
Yeah.
Wait on
Here, I'll just mute Kamui for the time being. Kamui, you can unmute yourself when you're ready. Okay. Or I think I only muted on my end here. I'll server mute him. Yeah. And he'll come back
Yeah.
soon. But that's interesting. Yeah. So, sorry, was that the end of it, or did you have more to say?
I think I might add a little bit more. So yeah, I think Amato's gonna he's gonna perform perform procedures, or Amato might end up taking things a little more differently this time because we know that he has fail safes in place on Kawaki. We've seen happen with, I think in chapter, was it 16 or 17 or 18? I forget. I think it was around those chapters when he pretty much spoke like the voice code to shut down Kawaki. So who knows? I think Amato might end up giving Kawaki what he desires. And whether or not if the Shibai cells react differently in Kawaki as opposed to Code, I like to believe that it might end up reacting differently and it might make Kawaki more powerful, but who knows?
Yeah, honestly, this largely depends on whatever Amato's true grand plan spectacle actually is down the line, assuming it even exists. And if it's as hyped up as we think it is, which is never going to live up to expectations after all these years, but assuming it even exists.
So it's kind of interesting because, that has always been the question behind my mind. How did Kawaki, I mean, it's not Kawaki, how did Amato even obtain the cells of Shibai? And where did he, and to obtain the cells from someone, you have to either get a piece of their hair or maybe, you have to get a piece of their, I guess, skin or whatever. Maybe something that was a part of him. And, because, it's interesting because we don't know where Shibai died or whether or not if his body still remains on the earth.
Exactly.
So it's a little interesting. I'm guessing it's one of those maybe Ikimoto will explain it down the line kind of things when the plot actually demands it, or whether the story moves forward into that direction.
That was fine.
Welcome back, Kamui.
Yep.
Did
Yeah, I already know it's gonna be like my
When are you getting on the plane, bro?
Are we gonna be my protein stuff? No.
Why is he? Why did he just mute again? Why are you unmuting?
I'm gonna be coming again. Okay. I figured he was good since he left and rejoined, but Kamui, whenever you're good, just let us know. That's hilarious.
Speak to us on the plane.
That's so jarringly taking me out of whatever I thought I was gonna say before. Okay, so Immortal, do you think that, as a possibility, do you think the 10 tails that Jigen had, do you think that was Shibai's remains?
Or
do you think it's gonna be something else?
I think it's something else entirely. I don't think it's Shibai's remains, but I mean, Ikimoto could probably set up a plot twist where it is. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be either or. Well, do you think that Momoshiki and Kinshiki in the, I guess, Chunin exams arc, did Momoshiki and Kinshiki come with the 10 tails? Or did they come with the divine tree already made? Because they say that the divine tree that's in that one dimension that like Naruto's like hooked up to and that they destroy, they say they built that with Killer Bee's chakra, which obviously they gained halfway through the movie. So
Did Killer Bee survive?
yeah, Killer Bee survived, but remember they still took his
Okay.
chakra. Killer Bee just did like the tentacle substitution thing.
Yeah. That's interesting. If they already came with the 10 tails, or I don't think they did, but I think it's more so. It's weird.
So do you think they
Why
came
would
with
they
like a
come to-
small divine tree? Because if you remember, Victor had a divine tree, and it grew in size when it started taking the quote-unquote nutrients from all the people in the surrounding areas. So that could be what they did, is they just took Killer Bee's chakra to grow the small divine tree they already had. And I guess at that point, I guess that divine tree is a divine tree rather than 10 tails because they'd already sacrificed Kinshiki to it previously, just preemptively, maybe. I don't know if that's how that works, or if you even can do that. I mean, the whole thing was just weird in the first place. It's been retconned like 40 different times, but...
Now, truthfully, I don't really watch the anime all that much, but so it's a little weird because based off the established lore about the Otsutskis, they always come to a planet with the 10 tails to assault the planet and pretty much grow a god tree in it. So if Momoshiki and Kinshiki came to the Earth already, and I guess their big plan, hopefully their big end game, is to plant the divine tree and gain a chakra fruit. How would they be able to do it without a 10 tails if they don't have a 10 tails of their own? Maybe that's
They were gonna recreate the divine tree according to what they said using
okay.
What they say, at least you can say it's retcon, but they were gonna use the pieces of the 10 tails, those being Bijus, to replant the divine trees, how they phrased it, which we can in retrospect just say they were gonna rebuild the 10 tails and replant it that way.
Yeah, I forgot.
Unless they can just do it directly, but because the 10 tails with Naruto is kind of weird, where it's like already divine tree, but also 10 tails, and it doesn't make any sense, but because it's a retcon. But...
Yeah.
Now, I was gonna say Naruto is technically already a pseudo 10 tails Jinchuriki in a way, but I don't know whether if that's just their whether if that's just the Biju's spirits or their essence within his body.
Well, no, he was. I mean, at least in part 2, indisputably, he was absolutely like they had the chakra, a pseudo tendons and jerky. No disputing that.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
and because he still had 6 pet stage but Boruto, he should still have it, and they also say that in novels. So I'd say it's most consistent when he still was.
Yeah, because I think one thing to confirm that is that he has the lava style Rasen Shuriken that he used against Delta. So that confirms that he still has like Son Goku's chakra inside of him. So technically he still has all 9 Biju chakra inside of him.
Yeah. Seemingly not have as much as he did at first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can definitely see that because I think Naruto would technically be the jackpot because even though Momoshiki had drained Killer Bee's 8 tails chakra, now Naruto is pretty much the pseudo 10 tails Jinchuriki, so he has the other 8, or I believe the other 8 Biju inside of him now. So I don't know. From what I've seen, Momoshiki was only draining the 9 tails' chakra. I don't know if he knew that the other Biju were inside of him.
That's actually a good point. That's kind of low-key a plot hole. He should know.
That is a good point, yeah. Because at the very least, Urashiki extracts whatever weird One Tails vestige was inside Gaara. Seemingly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Urashiki was able to fish out Gaara's chakra.
Exactly.
But it's weird because when Momoshiki was draining the Nine Tails from Naruto, which I think a full day still wasn't enough for him. Which kind of shows how incredibly vast the Biju's chakra is. But
that was
anyways,
actually ridiculous because Killer Bee was like instant, and he was like, "Oh, that's it." And then Naruto is like complaining about how long it is. He's not even halfway there. It's like, bro, more.
yeah,
it's so absurd.
Yeah, it's like, you can just imagine that being a pseudo Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, your chakra will be like immensely vast. As like, even if it takes a full day, you still won't even be enough. Like, you won't even get like halfway. I'm guessing that's what Ikimoto's trying to tell us. Is that Naruto's chakra is so immense that not even Momoshiki could drain him fully.
But that also doesn't make sense. The Otsutsukis are working with the Ten Tails and clearly superior to them. So, like, why is he struggling so much with the Nine Tails?
I don't know. It's okay. Let me go back to chapter 8, I believe, because I clearly remember Momoshiki said something like that when he was draining, when he captured Naruto and was just draining his chakra. He's like, damn.
I mean,
Even with all the
narratively, I
chakra,
understand
still-
why they did it because of the whole like lazy cheating aspect of the movie, that like whole theme there. But like plot-wise, it just doesn't make sense because I don't care how much chakra the Nine Tails has. It by default has to have less than the Ten Tails.
But the other thing is, it's like Jigen does the same thing where it's like, oh, you have so much chakra, it's gonna be too hard to kill you, so I'm just not gonna bother and I'll seal you away. Which obviously he can seal the Ten Tails, so he can seal the Nine Tails too. But it's like, shouldn't that be like just like puny fish food for like Ishiki's caliber? Like, so the only takeaway you can have is that, okay, well, no, the Otsutsuki have better abilities to beat the Ten Tails, but the Ten Tails is quote unquote stronger and pure power and chakra. But that's like, they're talking about Ishiki like he's even greater than that. So
because keep in mind, Ishiki had so much chakra he couldn't even stand it.
Whereas Ten Tails chakra, and it's okay, it actually helps them.
So I think this is chapter 7 of Naruto Next Generations. So when Momoshiki was draining his chakra, he says such ridiculously enormous chakra, and then he just stops after realizing, God, this is taking too long. Like, this is after he captured Naruto. We don't know how long he's been draining his chakra. I like to assume it's been for like several hours, maybe, but he kind of stops after a given point. He's like, damn, we're such ridiculously enormous chakra. I'm like, who? Like, who? What kind of Naruto is just like a living chakra battery at this given point.
It makes me wonder if Naruto is somehow having his chakra extracted at the same time, so it's not just the Nine Tails, it's both of them combined. Or maybe Naruto's feeding the Nine Tails his own chakra rather than the other way around to like make it last longer or whatever they're doing there. Because clearly the chakra he's extracting, it's red. It's likely the Nine Tails chakra and not Naruto's chakra, but I don't know. It's possible.
Now, I'm looking at the manga, but I think in the anime we do see orange chakra, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it looked like it was red chakra being extracted. To be fair, that could just be how the siphoning chakra Momoshiki jutsu looks in general. Is that a possibility? But I don't know, I doubt it. I mean, I do think just another rewrite in general. Screw the, we took the Eight Tails chakra and turned it into the Divine Tree. Just say you took the Eight Tails chakra and you made it in the chakra pills that Momoshiki has and uses. You already have the Divine Tree. You might as well. I mean, they already showed in the anime that they have like 30 different Divine Trees on a single planet for whatever reason anyways. So... at that point. The only problem is, if that's the case, okay, the chakra pills are supposed to be split up from a chakra fruit, which should only be able to be gathered from a Ten Tails, and not something they can make themselves. So if they could make the chakra pills, which is what they want for their immortality anyways, they kind of don't need a Ten Tails or Divine Tree regardless. I mean, to be fair, that's not to say they wouldn't use it anyways, just out of convenience, because otherwise Momoshiki would have to individually absorb the chakra from every individual on the planet individually, rather than the Divine Tree, which can just do it all at once. But, you know. Be a lot easier for Momoshiki to get to the Divine Tree to do it than for Momoshiki to absorb 8 billion people's worth of chakra 8 billion times.
That would be the funniest way he could do it, though.
You're not wrong. Especially considering
also,
how
at
long
like
it
any
took.
minute now, I'll be like forced to leave here.
Okay.
But
also, remember how quickly the Divine Tree sapped Naruto's chakra in the War Arc, but then Momoshiki can't do it like at all.
Yeah.
So ignore that. But Kamui, of your 3 options, which one did you like best for the Kawaki Shibai Cell thing?
Well, I feel like I'm gonna go with the second one because I want Amino to have a master plan. so I'm gonna go with that one.
I agree, especially if his master plan is related to the Otsutsuki. That'd be the best.
Exactly.
Something
no matter
like
what it is, it's just cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess also just any final thoughts on anything else we've said?
I missed like half.
Did you find a bathroom?
Well, I feel like the parts I was listening to, I completely agree with.
Okay, fair.
I will say this was absolutely an awful stream.
You're not wrong. It always is when it's not at night. I told you. If you disagreed with me. Wow.
Well, there was potentially going to be a scenario where I was just at the airport for 3 hours, but that didn't end up happening because I was not going to do that. So,
well, there you go. Okay. I guess since we read this Kawaki one, I might as well go find the Boruto Topics one, even if it should have been done in the other order anyways, but, you know.
Yeah.
So, obviously you wrote this, like, 2 Blue Vortex change. Was there anything in the code arc that you felt like should be changed here? Or is it, you're explaining why it's fine?
The main thing would be, if you want to address the fact that he lost the bet, basically, by losing the match against Boruto and their little sparring match. So he's going to give it a chance, but then he doesn't actually give it a chance because he just doesn't go sacrifice himself. So you could address that for the code arc. Would be the only thing, really.
Yeah. I think a way to make that better is you do the Amado, oh, you really want power, don't you? You do that after the Boruto training stuff and not before, which is what I think it is.
Well, it's a mix of both. He doesn't do the offer for combat until after, but he does the whole powerlessness thing back in the Ishiki fight. So it's a mix of both.
Yeah. Oh, I never even wrote that here. I'm just gonna write that there. I'll get to that later. Okay. Okay. Let me go find where you wrote the rewrite thing. Okay, right here. LMAO. Kawaki was. Oh my god, this is so short. We should have just started this. LMAO. Kawaki was so desperate for quick power in the code arc and didn't want karma. Yet not once did he think to ask Amado to augment his body. XD. This isn't definitely an issue, but seriously? He didn't do Blue Vortex naturally in Koji's 10 directions. For what reason? The pressure is surely less in 2 Blue Vortex than it was in that code arc. Right, guys?
I agree. That's why I wrote it.
And there's the context. I mean, Immortal, what do you think?
Now that I think about it, I'm guessing, well, he was desperate. I wouldn't say he was. Actually, yeah, he was desperate for power.
Exactly.
But I think him going to Amado was probably something he never wanted to consider. until Amato kind of, went behind his back and gave him the power that he desperately needed.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, at the
Yeah.
time, he says that he thought he hated the karma, but what he actually hated was the damn Otsutsuki. He says that afterwards. So at the time, he thinks he hates the karma. And to be fair, that's all Amato's proposing. Oh, you want power? Well, how about karma? So obviously, Kawaki's like linking the two together. And then,
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, well, it's more so he says that without the karma, you're pretty much, he doesn't really say this, but I'm going to say this in my own words. So we go back to the broken vase and Himawari fixing up the vase and how, there's like one still missing piece to the vase that hasn't been put together yet. So pretty much it's similar to what Jigen was telling him. Without the karma, you will just be empty. You'll be like an empty vessel without it.
Yeah.
Pretty much you're nothing without the karma. That's basically what this is that's what this is whole thing is about. Like without the karma, Kawaki won't be able to do anything. Without karma, Kawaki won't be able to protect Naruto. Without karma, Kawaki is just an empty vessel, an empty broken vase with a missing piece still hanging out.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense why Kawaki didn't come to the idea of that by the time he decided to leave for Code, because he wanted to leave for Code like pretty much instantly anyways, and because the whole like giving Ninja Way a chance up until that point, it makes sense why he didn't do that. But like even then, it's like, oh, the way that we should train to get stronger, well, Jigen was actually right. He's gonna say that before he just goes to Amado for his scientific ninja tech upgrade. Like, really?
So,
he's gonna hype up Jigen, the guy he hates, before going on. Okay.
Oh, I guess this is mainly because of the fact that he saw how the way Naruto and all the others, they had to sacrifice so much to beat Ishiki. And he was probably thinking to himself, damn, if Naruto couldn't beat Ishiki, then how am I supposed to trust in the ninja way to be able to deal with the Otsutskis or any problems that come after them? And in TBV, Boruto's different because he's a hybrid. In a way, he's like a hybrid of Otsutsuki and Shinobi. So when he trains with Shinobi methods, of course, the things he's going to be able to do will naturally surpass anything that any Shinobi on Earth will be capable of. But still, though, even though that's the case, Boruto does train like a Shinobi, and he still keeps to Shinobi ways, and he pretty much uses, and those principles is what pretty much I think in chapter 8 of TBV kind of landed Kawaki on his ass. Like he kind of folded him a little bit, but I think it's more so, like I said, Kawaki is trying to stick to this Otsutsuki path of power to destroy the Otsutsuki.
Yeah, no, like thematically it works because again, that goes back to, I didn't actually hate the karma, I hate the Otsutsuki.
Yeah.
So it makes sense why narratively they would write it that way. But like, at first, obviously, I mean, regardless, I think that Kawaki kind of hated the Otsutsuki the whole time. But ignoring that, it's because his hatred just shifted from the karma to the Otsutsuki. But that's not to say he loved the Otsutsuki before. Obviously, he didn't like them. But at first, he's not giving the ninja way a chance. He only does that because of Boruto bet. Before then, he wants to do his own different, separate, other way of getting power. So it's weird for him to go Otsutsuki rather than technology. With that in mind.
So, it's interesting because, like, when I believe when Kawaki was training with Mitsuki, Boruto, and Sarada, I think in Next Generations, was it chapter 58, when they were practicing on how to, was it molding chakra? Not really molding chakra, but it was more so, I guess meditating on something.
Yeah.
Kawaki kind of wanted like instant results.
Exactly.
Not like having
just
to
like
train.
in Two Blue Vortex.
Yeah.
When he gets the
just like in Two Blue
upgrade to the
Vortex.
tech. Yeah.
Yeah. And most of this comes from the fact that, he just saw what Ishiki forced Naruto to do. And it costed Naruto nearly all of his power. Well, technically a big chunk of his power, because if you consider the fact that, Kurama is, gone and now residing within Himawari. Well, not really at that given point, but he was pretty much, I would guess, forming around her. Anyways. So he wanted quick methods he wanted instant results and quick methods on destroying the Otsutsuki. And once again, without the karma, he lost to Boruto. And he instinctively put his hands out thinking he still had the karma. So in a way, it's like when you lose an extension of yourself, you think that part of you is still there. And in Kawaki's case, he hated karma and wanted nothing to do with the Otsutsukis, but at the same time, he needed it and still instinctively thought he had the karma. So we go into the Code arc. He didn't realize how much he needed the karma until after Borishiki and Code came back.
Yeah, it's more like a thing if he realized it deep down, but he didn't want to confront that truth.
Yeah. So it was more so like, he was like, damn, I despised the karma so much in the beginning because of the fact that it's more so because of the fact that, Ishiki wanted to take away, wanted to, I would say, parasitically invite himself into Kawaki's body, or just take away his autonomy and degrade and just destroy who he is. But, I'm guessing the reason he's saying he needed karma now was because of the fact that Amato pretty much did modifications on the karma to the point where he has Ishiki's abilities, his powers, and his data within it, but Ishiki is no longer there. So that means he pretty much now is able to use karma purely as a weapon similar to Code. Now, we go into TVV, and he's pretty much thinking he's still hot shit, even with the karma. And so Boruto, like I said, lands him on his ass after, he got 3-pieced by Jura. And then we go straight into, I would say, the confrontation between Jura, Boruto, and Boruto nearly dies, comes in. Kawaki comes in, does his thing, but still isn't enough to beat Jura. And he goes to Amato, has him do modifications on his body. It's kind of funny. As Kawaki is gaining more power, more consequences are coming about as a result of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's something I kind of like, because Kawaki will soon realize that the more power he gains, it's like the more he's destroying himself in the process.
Okay.
Not saying he actually is, but it's like something in him is like cracking at this given point.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because obviously the karma is the Otsutsuki's power, and he's rejecting the karma at first, even though he instinctively desires it, but he doesn't realize that yet. So, like, on the direct surface level, he is rejecting the karma's power, but he's so desperate for power. So it's just weird how he just doesn't or default to the other power he actually just does have and uses actively, even in the fight against Boruto and the training sparring match thing. It's like he has that power. If he just made that power better, he would have the instant results he wants, while still rejecting the thing that he wants to reject. He actively, desperately wants to reject the karma at this point in time. But instead, he just doesn't get the instant path. Like there's a very clear path. It's just funny that he just doesn't follow it. But I guess that could just be to say that he very clearly did want the karma. He just didn't want to acknowledge that.
Yeah.
Because obviously the way it's written, like you said, he's instinctually trying to use it and stuff, so that kind of makes sense. Also, to be fair, it's a difference between like a power with seemingly zero consequence or drawback, as opposed to the scientific ninja tech, which is, it's you gain some, you lose some, apparently.
Yeah. I'm guessing well, sorry. Let me my thoughts back together. Okay. So with the limiters being rescinded and everything else, and him, I don't know whether or not if Amado was still adding more modifications to Kawaki's body, because we did see that Kawaki was on the table, and after he got out of the table, or maybe before he got started getting procedures and getting modified. I think Amado was telling him, hey Kawaki, you can't handle, your body is not built to handle all this power. Like, even though he may have been Ishiki's vessel, the power that he would gain is going to be too much for Kawaki to handle. And we start to see the consequences unfold in real time towards the end of the Mamushi invasion. I guess Mamushi invasion arc, if you want to consider that an arc or just like an entire fight in of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Kawaki just starts like going crazy, and then all of a sudden he burns out.
Yeah.
So, dang, I literally forgot what I was about to add on to.
Well, he was burning out in the Mamushi arc because of sign of a ninja tech, so it's probably he's like losing something there, as opposed to Karma, which doesn't burn out, seemingly.
Yeah, Karma does. Yeah, okay, so Karma doesn't burn out, but scientific ninja tech does.
To be fair, I think that's partially Kawaki being stupid with the scientific ninja tech and not considering the overheating factor. He's just using it until it overheats, but he's just spamming it. It's like Delta, who's not like considering the like maximum absorption thing. She's absorbing things without consideration towards that until suddenly it hits her and it's too late. I think Kawaki's the same way. Going forward, he might be more cautious with it, but up until this point, I think he was just spam using it in the same way he would use Karma without any drawbacks or consequence until it inevitably happens.
Yeah, because throughout the story, we've seen consistently that even though with scientific ninja tech, you are able to pretty much go up against like 6 past tier characters or like potential Otsuki level characters, you also have to consider the fact that it is limited in what it's capable of doing. Like with Delta, she thought she could absorb all of Naruto's I would say chakra through his gigantic massive Dama Rasengan until she started suffering drawbacks with her eyewear, and then the eyewear pretty much was limited in how much it was capable of absorbing, and then that's when she kind of burnt out. And it's kind of funny, it's the same thing with Kawaki. Like, no matter with whatever I'm getting out there. Hold on. Okay, so with the amount of power he has at his disposal, even with his max offense, even with his limiters off and his offensive at its max power, if he keeps using it for prolonged periods of time, he might end up suffering burnout. And then that's exactly what happened during the chapter. It's pretty consistent because, scientific ninja tool can become a crutch if you misuse it and just like don't care about the drawbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But what do you think?
No, I agree with pretty much all that. I do like this as like the interpretation that you've come to. Mr. Spiraling, have you been listening to have thoughts as well?
Sorry, could you repeat what you said? Have I been listening, you said?
Yeah, it's the idea that like the karma has like 0 consequence or burnout, whereas scientific ninja tech seemingly just does. And so Kawaki might like temper his scientific ninja tech, but the karma, he'll like more rely on that power.
So, well, the karma doesn't have a side effect, does it not?
For Kawaki, seemingly not right now. It's just pure power. Well, that's how they describe Code's claw mark anyways. It's just pure power. That's all it is. Because the dud of it doesn't extract, blah, blah,
blah. Well, the pure power thing could just be BS because it should just be a thing. to show Kawaki's fascination with power or the wanting of power. Maybe that's why they're doing it like that. And eventually realize there is actually a back, what's the word? A back, what's the word? I forgot the word.
Well, Mr. Spiraling, we know that you think about back ends all the time, but I don't think that's the word that you're thinking of.
No. Oh God, I'm forgetting that word. How the hell am I
Backup?
forgetting that word? What's the time? No, it's something bad. Back. What's the word?
I don't know. Well, while
Whatever.
you think
Something bad.
about that,
God, how do you chat? Help me.
oh my god.
Backfire. Something to backfires against it. That's what I was gonna say. Okay.
Ugh, Mr. Spiraling should know backfiring real well.
No, you should, considering you do it every night with a certain someone. Anyways, whatever. Stop thinking about dirty thoughts, Ood, with your certain friend Kamui, or friend maybe more of a friend. Anyways, so what I was gonna say is that yeah, I think so. I mean, the scientific ninja tools are definitely very destructive and hard to use. I think he is having trouble with them. I think there is also a sense in Boruto where of the idea of how technology is so good, but then it also has its downsides if we're not careful, which is also very similar to real world things that are happening
But that's what I was
right now,
saying.
like AI.
Kawaki isn't considering those downsides. He's just using it.
Yeah, because he's power hungry. It goes with its character. Yeah.
Exactly. Which again, it's kind of weird why
Yeah,
he did do
exactly.
that outside of the obviousness of the writing, but like in universe, kind of weird. Like, I know he doesn't want to go to Amado, but he also doesn't want Naruto to die. That's the reason that he's going to Code to sacrifice himself anyways. It was never to fight or to beat Code. It's to save the village, and Code just denied his offer upon immediately saying him, which is ridiculous that Kawaki considered that would work. But again, the maddening love scenario, so it kind of makes sense why Kawaki would do that.
Can I go off topic for a bit if you don't mind?
Well, I'd prefer to stay on topic as much as possible.
But it's a short sidetrack, okay? You're just going into a different hill, a different
doesn't
room for a
exist
second. Okay?
around here.
Well, we'll try to keep it short. Anyways, excuse me, chat. Sometimes I have to ramble. I haven't rambled about Naruto in a while.
Well, you're not giving me much of a choice here.
No, I'm not going to. Anyways, what was I gonna say? Have you guys so far in the story seen anything to indicate how Boruto will turn about how Boruto and Kawaki will eventually fight in a ruined Konoha? Is there anything making you think, like, we had our theories a couple years back, right? We discussed it, right, on the podcast. Now, what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, Base Chocho has so much power. If she just moves in the wrong direction, the whole village could blow up. So, I mean, it's probably that.
I don't know. Or could we just be Otsutsuki's blowing stuff up? Couldn't it be Shibai as well?
Well, I think that Base Chocho is a lot more likely to blow up everything than Shibai would be. I mean, she just has so much more power than him.
Sure, bro. But seriously, like, do you think why do you think they're gonna fight over, like, isn't it gonna be Kawaki who's gonna be the one to destroy the village?
Well, that's what Boruto implies. It could be the Shinju, could be Jira, but you never know. I mean, Jira's not gonna be happy. The village got destroyed.
What do you guys still think? Do you guys remember the theory? You know how Kishimoto has his own manga, right? Another manga of his own called Samurai 8,
Samurai
right?
8, yeah.
Have you read it?
I have.
I haven't read it, but I know the premise about it and what happens. Do you still believe that Boruto will go in a similar direction as Samurai 8?
Yes.
That's interesting. I will say, viewers, I'll be totally honest. I've not kept with that with Boruto in nearly 2 years. Maybe, yeah. So my knowledge is very scuffed. I have no clue what's happening right now in the show. For good reasons, I don't watch bad stuff. I like to lay my eyes on sophisticated, good stories. But yeah, but back to what you guys we'll sidetrack back to the main room of discussion.
Well, I wonder what immortal things.
Thinks of what?
Anything.
Yes, immortal.
Okay. Were you guys talking about like the fast forward scene?
We were.
Yeah, the first scene. Yeah, immortal.
Do you have any theories of
Okay.
why the village is going to be destroyed? Whether it's going to be Kawaki or Jura or someone else? I think it's going to be
Someone
Chocho,
decided.
but you know.
Is he
Me
actually serious about
personally.
that point?
I mean, did you see how much power she had in this arc?
No, I don't.
Oh, well, there you go.
No.
Well, honestly, it's kind of crazy because I came to the conclusion that whether I feel like that it could either be it's interesting because no matter how many theories I think of, like it really all boils down to whether or not if Ikimoto's leaning towards the idea that, maybe Konoha has Shikamaru has pretty much already shown that he was willing to betray the Shinjus. And that if they can find a way to destroy them and get their Thorn Souls back, then they can just focus on, probably going back to prosecuting, well, not really prosecuting, but probably bringing Boruto back into jail. But who knows? Anyways,
And defeating
I
Code.
feel like that. Oh yeah, and defeating Code. Anyways, so what I do believe is going to happen is this. Since we already know that Jorah pretty much despises the idea. Well, not really despises, but it's more so the idea of love is a weakness to him, and it's a weakness because he just witnessed Matsuri get betrayed by Konohamaru instantly, and she fell right into that trap, and so that caused her to become a Thorn Soul, and I'm guessing it's more so like, because of love, this causes the Shinjus to pretty much believe that, it is not really a necessity or anything that will help them strive in their goal of evolution. And not just that, but also love is also irrational, and that love in of itself can blind you from your true objective. I believe there was like some I think I was watching Naruto talk about how, in a sense, Jorah is like this anti-Bodhisattva, where, love is, I guess, dang. So love is, well, not just a weakness, but also something that helps you, something that prevents you from obtaining nirvana, or something that prevents you from obtaining enlightenment, and that it should never be something any being should strive towards. And also, like I said, Jorah doesn't trust it because of what happened, not just with Matsuri, but what could potentially happen with him and Hidari, and with Mamushi as well. And probably doesn't trust humans at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because the Code arc really started that whole like madness love theme that they were doing, and that has kind of been carried over into Two Blue Vortex with the whole like irrational side of love, especially with Jura that they've been saying. And Mamushi, obviously, you have like the Ada situation of the love charm, etc., etc., and like the weirdness of Mamushi there. Obviously, you have like Sasuke leaving the village for Sarada, and whatever Shikamaru might have going on with Boruto, we'll have to see about that. But lots of different like areas that they're playing with it. I think Kikimoto really likes this idea in general, so we'll just have to see how that like develops further. But I do like it as like the explanation of why Kawaki didn't think about it. He was being irrational at the time anyways.
A great fan fiction. Anyways, Um, to be honest, the ending, Boruto, I feel like, but this I gotta ask this. We're obviously at a point in the story we get into the moment where Boruto and Kawaki fight in a ruined Konoha. Question is, for how will that fight be like the end of the series, or will that fight be just for like a little bit, and then we'll see, and then we will see, I don't know, the ending like Samurai 8. No
Well,
spoilers for Samurai 8, but
I definitely don't think it's going to be at the beginning of the series.
no. I mean, when we get to that point in the Boruto series in Blue Vortex, when we get the scene of Kawaki and Boruto fighting, will that be the end of the series? Will that be the final fight, and then we have happy ending, or will that be just before they fight the final villain, like Shibai or whatever? What do you think?
I don't really think Shibai should be the final villain. In fact, I don't even think Shibai is even a villain to begin with, because it's kind of crazy. I would say it's kind of, we would assume that Shibai would be the final villain because he's pretty much the god of the Naruto universe, Naruto Boruto universe. But the problem is, we don't know whether or not if his goal is to conquer or rule everything in existence, or does all this, because I'm not saying that Shibai couldn't be the final villain, but it's more so I really want to wait until we figure out what Ikimoto plans on doing with Shibai's character.
Yeah.
I mean, this is assuming
I'll be honest.
Right now, he just...
I'll be honest, one thing. I think Shibai is the worst concept in all of Naruto. Like, it's one of the worst concepts I've ever heard. Like, it really ruins the story and downgrades it so much for me. That's just me. I don't know. It's like one of the worst concepts ever.
Why is that?
Maybe that's just me. Say again?
Why?
Because it's dead. We don't need that in the story. It expands it way too much. Naruto should have ended in Shippuden. But they wanted more money. So they were like, let's create Boruto. Let's make dumb ideas. Let's make Himawari Kurama, the new Jinchuriki of Kurama. Some of the worst writing ever, honestly. And the ratings show as well. At least in the Western world. I don't know about Japan.
So then
Japan
you just hate Boruto. It has nothing to do with Shibai.
No, I'm yapping right now. But yeah, Shibai is really dead. I don't like Shibai. I don't get why there has to be an Atsuki god in the series. That just makes it way bigger out of nowhere. And if like what? Because at the end of the day, if he's that strong and powerful, you can't defeat him. So with what Myrtle was saying, well, how is he going to be a villain in any way, right? So at the end of the day, I think it doesn't make any sense. Like what does he serve? What kind of purpose does he serve for the story? Just it's a weird purpose. I don't know. I just don't enjoy it.
Well, it's more so we don't even know. We don't really know his purpose until like the story moves forward in that direction of what's going on with Shibai. In fact, I can't really say Shibai is a horrible character until we know.
I think it's a horrible
who he
concept.
is until we know.
This is why Kaz hates watching the podcast, Mr. Sparling.
Who hates watching the podcast? Sorry.
But Immortal, go ahead.
No, but you said who hates watching the podcast? Who?
Kaz.
Who's Az?
But Immortal, go ahead.
One thing I have to say is this. One thing I have to say is this. I can't really call a character horrible unless I get to know who they are and what they do. So I can't. So right now Shibai exists as a background character, and pretty much his power is being used in the story as like I would say the new meta, the new mechanic within the over in the Boruto story, because we do see characters with his abilities manifested through his cells. So right now he exists as this, I would say, this force of power that has yet to be revealed. But I can't call Ishiki. I mean, sorry, not Ishiki. I can't call Shibai bad because of this. If you get what I'm saying.
I just think the concept of the character is not. I will say this: if Shibai is someone who, like, okay, there's a couple concepts. I think first off, Shibai could work in a couple ways. One of the ways it can't work, however, if it's Shibai the person is Aizen. He set up everything in the story. That won't work. I refute. That is one of the. It's a possibility. Ikimoto is a pretty horrible writer. Right, makes dumb decisions. Like all of Two Blue Vortex. So it's possible, right? Now, it's also possible we go the Samurai 8 route, which is not as bad, even though it's still stupid and makes no sense. It's still all right. But like, in what way would you like if you were like Ishimoto, what would you make Shiba into? What would it be? What would you like to see?
Oh, I'll just rather see what they're gonna do. Don't want to think about
honestly,
it.
yeah.
But
So, yeah, I mean, if you're okay, so you're asking if I was Ikimoto or Kishimoto, Ikimoto.
Or you can manipulate them. You'll manipulate them. Let's say you were their wife, and then you can manipulate their writing.
Not a burden I'm forced to deal with.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. You could just you manipulate them. You're them. Whatever. Anything like that.
I'm just gonna tie it into Amado's secret motive. Amado is Shibai.
What if Amado was Shibai all along? What if Amato is Shibai all along?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I mean, it's not out of the possibility that Otsutsuki's shapeshift into human beings, or become mortals. I mean, now that Ishiki, why do I keep saying Ishiki? I keep thinking about Ishiki and Shibai. I keep mixing them up. Sorry. So, I mean, now that Shibai pretty much transcended the physical, the third dimension, and possibly is in a higher dimension than we know, it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could turn himself into a mortal human being,
4D.
and just play as this human character until someone figures him out. Now, Amado being a villain would be a really damn good plot twist, but Amado being Shibai, the very force of the entire, being the force behind the Boruto storyline, that would be super interesting to me, because I've always been asking, how the hell does Shibai? I mean, sorry, not Shibai. How the hell does Amado even have the cells of Shibai? Where does he know? How the hell does he even have? Does he have his remains somewhere in his lab? Where did he find his body? There's a lot of things I've always wondered about, and if Amado is Shibai, that could explain why he's able to give out his cells to the Kara Inners and allow them to awaken their abilities
as well.
So, well, yeah. Anyways, well, yeah. If he was able to get dry cells from going to the bottom of, I would say the lake or whatever it is, when Dry had died in the Hidden Rain Village, whether if he was able to scuba dive and recover his body or his remains, or whatever.
Or he's so strong he can create dry cells out of nowhere, because Shibai. So maybe even that.
Yeah. So one thing I was going to say is this: if Amado is Shibai, he could be able to do anything he could put his mind towards. But once again, like I said, that would be a really cool plot twist. But until we get to that point where we figure out who Amado,
It says Jigen gave Amado the cells apparently.
Yeah, that is kind of what Amado says. That's the whole reason that he knows about Shibai in the first place. Obviously, he could be lying, but I mean, the evidence for Shibai existing at this point is pretty likely. After all, what are the Shinjutsu that Ada and Koji have? How did they awaken it if they didn't have Shibai cells? Or, well, okay, so Amado did implant something in them. If it wasn't Shibai cells, what was it for them to awaken it? I mean, what did Ishiki tell him? Was it Ghost Ishiki that talked to Code, or was it Amado? Because Ghost Ishiki tells Code to become an Otsutsuki god, so that concept already exists regardless of Amado, unless that was Amado. There's just so much pointing towards it.
It's kind of, it's also kind of funny that it's kind of funny that Shibai's name literally means play or theater.
Yeah.
So,
Whoa, true. But Immortal,
So-
can I just give a counter to what you said about making it more interesting? I know it's obviously this is subjective and what you like and don't like, but I don't know. I kind of disagree on like making it being more making the story better because I think it's very unnatural for someone so powerful, you know, I know Tusi God, to be moving the whole story away and making Boruto what it is. Because like if Shibai's Amato, like that story just feels unnatural. It just doesn't feel like they naturally moved on its own and things happen. These weren't like freaking, you know, demonic level people or sorry, gods essentially to see gods right controlling the story. I think that just seems dead. Like they intervene themselves. He went on Earth and made them do whatever. This feels very unnatural. It doesn't feel like the story happened on its own. You know, the characters made the decisions for the story to turn on its own. I just don't like it. What I will say, what I think is probably likely is that the Shinju and stuff like that, their group probably. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they're influenced or whatever, or they were created by Shiba, you know, to do his dirty work. You know, maybe that's a possibility. And then maybe in the end we see Shiba in the story will come on his own. That's a possibility. I wouldn't mind if that was the case. I just don't see that. I just don't think it's very. I don't think it's in the nature. I don't think it's good for the story. That's what I want to say. But Ood, what do you think? What do you think if Shiba was Omoto? Would you like that or not?
I think that Shibai probably will come into the story at some point. He was introduced for a reason. I don't think it was just to get to the power constructs they've introduced. I think it's more about the character. At least it will be down the line. I think that if Shibai comes to the story, he will be evil and a villain. Assuming that Amado's explanation was true in the first place, if we take it at face value, then yes, he should be evil and a villain, considering he devoured countless planets, all the life on those planets in order to transcend. Like, that's something he did. He did do that, assuming that Amado's telling the truth. And so the only reason he wouldn't be a villain would be if Amado was lying, or if he just doesn't exist in the first place.
Yeah.
Obviously, if he comes back, he doesn't have to want to desire to do that anymore if he's already transcended, and if he can just transcend again at any point, he's just come back for whatever reason to give Boruto advice or whatever. That his role in the story wouldn't be as a villain, but that doesn't erase the evil that he did. Unless it's gonna be one of those situations to where every one of those planets, all life on all of those planets wanted to be devoured. Since seemingly Ishiki Code wants to be an Ishiki sacrifice, so like maybe other planets, all life on those planets were like Code, and they saw the Otsutskis as God. And then you also get to the moral quandary of, okay, well, if Shibai achieves immortal life, that's infinite life, as opposed to the finite life that would have died. So in the end, the total lifespan is increasing infinitely. So in a way, maybe Shibai is doing the only act that wouldn't be considered evil in the entirety of existence.
Yeah. But the question...
Okay, well, I gotta ask this. I was gonna say, actually, no, Immortal, you go ahead. I forgot what I was gonna say.
So it's like it's kind of crazy because every time I constantly keep like looking back at the lore on why the Otsutskis do it, well, on not really. It's more so. It's like this sub pro question. Like it's like it's a why within a why. Why do the Otsutskis go to planets? Sorry, go planet to planet, devouring. Yeah, okay, let me read.
Well, I mean, from what Momoshiki and Kinshiki say, it's because they want immortality. But at that point...
Yeah, they want immortality,
but it's weird to say that the Otsutskis are evil rather than the universe, because the Otsutskis are just trying to be the way they should have been in the first place. The universe making fleeting mortality in itself would be considered evil from that perspective. Being born that way. Without any other way.
I've got a question.
Yeah. So
I've got one question.
Go ahead.
You know how Naruto? Sorry to interrupt you guys. I just remembered what I was going to say. Okay, do you remember the child of prophecy in Shippuden, right? In Naruto Shippuden. And I remember we've discussed this before about, and I do believe it could still be relevant to the story in a sense. Do you think there's a chance that will get brought up in the story when Shibai comes along? Because I wouldn't be too I wouldn't be too surprised if we have an encounter between Naruto and Shibai. When Naruto obviously, I don't know, Naruto obviously hadn't returned yet, right? From being in that dimension. So what do you think of that? Do you think the Child of Prophecy will play into it?
It's obviously a crackpot conspiracy theory that people have based on the Pain arc, Gamamaru, Blue-Eyed Boy thing. They think it's in reference to Boruto, not Naruto. I think it's clearly in reference to Naruto. I mean, Boruto wasn't even a concept until afterwards. Not that they can't retroactively go back and change it to Boruto, but then it wasn't about Naruto then, and all of that was sheerly coincidence, and then all of other Gamamaru's prophecies happened to be about Naruto, but not that singular one. So, okay, so fighting the red-eyed boy, so that's about Naruto, but the blue-eyed boy, that's about Boruto.
I'm saying Shibai knowing about the Child of Prophecy being Naruto. Could you see an encounter between Naruto and Shibai?
Between Naruto and Shibai. I mean, it's why Jiraiya wants Naruto, because Naruto's frolicking among all the tailed beasts, which was Gamamaru's prophecy, and Jiraiya wants Naruto because of his relationship to the tailed beasts. So
maybe it could be a final battle. My boy Naruto still with his wife Hinata asleep in a dimension. Very sad. Very sad.
But what is a mortal thing?
It's
Go ahead, Immortal.
gonna be. I don't know. I don't know. I every time I hear final battle, I'm thinking to myself, is it really going to be the final battle? Because the story has implied that there are other gods out there. Not that it's confirmed that there are other. Not that it's confirmed that there are other Otsutsuki gods out there, but it's implied that they do exist.
Well, where is it implied they exist?
Well, Amato pretty much in chapter 75, when he was explaining how Ada and Damon got their powers, he said that the crafting of abilities is a feat permitted to gods.
Maybe he made it in the meta. Maybe he meant it like to gods to make it seem like as if there's more than one god, but there actually isn't. Just make it like seem as if to make it bigger than it is. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm getting a bit far fetched here, but I don't know.
So another piece of evidence I have is during chapter 79 when Momoshiki was talking about how was pretty much getting Boruto to contemplate about how many times the Otsuskis who became gods was tampering with the memories of mankind, pretty much tampering with the history of mankind to make it towards where they don't know that the Otsuskis exist, because the fact that they use omnipotence to constantly rewrite the memories of everyone on Earth.
That was plotline Naruto.
Huh?
Nothing. I just said it's the dumbest plotline of Naruto.
Well, I mean, regardless, it's like you have to think, okay, how the hell do they not know about the Otsuskis? How the hell do the Otsuskis come to the planet and for humans not to know of their existence? And it's kind of funny because they actually do. Kaguya is a good example of this. And then the Sage of Six Paths is technically like a half Otsutsuki.
Are you trying to say that multiple Otsutsuki gods? Are you trying to say there's a potential that multiple Otsutsuki gods have been playing around with Earth like at their own playground? Is that what you mean? That a possibility?
Well, I don't know if it's playing around with their play. I mean, sorry, sorry, I can't.
My English is so weird sometimes.
So I don't think it's more so them playing with humans, but there could be potentially circumstances or situations that might have caused them to rewrite humankind's memory, technically tampering with the history of mankind, towards where I'm guessing that knowing who they are could potentially cause some kind of great effect on or ripple effect throughout the universe. And so they tamper with their memories and they don't know about them anymore because those Otsutskis who became gods pretty much ascended into a higher realm, similar to what Shibai did. And I'm guessing they use omnipotence to make them forget about who they are. I don't know. What do you think, Oodie?
That could
Maybe.
be interesting. It could like cause a time loop if that's what we're going with. At that point, it's probably just going to be the Boruto Ishibai theory that Kitamaki loves to talk about.
So are we saying like Boruto is the one who stops the loop? Is that what you mean? Is that like the theory?
I don't think
he might be the one that starts
what.
it.
Yeah, I think
right, if he starts,
he may be the one that continues it, if I'm not mistaken.
After
If
all,
he
maybe.
that would be a bad ending to the story if he continues it. That would just make it like a sad ending. That wouldn't be like a happy ending to the story.
Well,
I really doubt that would.
Based on the time slip arc, Boruto's already doing that. We see that he doesn't care about blab in his mouth about the future anyways in the past. And that did have ramifications with the Thunder Train. So, I mean, if he's already doing that, he's already done it, but he's willing to do it. So who's to say it's not going to happen again? Or that ramification doesn't have further consequences?
And
maybe,
on top of that... Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I apologize.
I was going to add, on top of that, with the addition of prescience being an ability where you can see into all possible futures and all possible outcomes, but you can't prevent them from happening, it kind of furthers adds into the idea of potentially time travel being a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
mean, Boruto has the Jogan. In my opinion, that's probably the best way to get to that anyways.
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to be the Eye of the Otsutsuki God or whatever they're doing there.
I will say this. I really find it unlikely, considering this is a shonen and how the story, how shonens work, these type of shonens, right? I really find it unlikely that we're going to have a point where it's going to be a never-ending loop. Boruto is just continuing the loop. I think if anything is going to happen, if there's anything in regards to a loop, it's probably going to be Boruto ending the loop, like going down the route of Samurai 8, where Boruto, offers himself for Terushima or whatever, like something along those lines. Which again, I still don't like the offering thing. I feel very weird about it. Can I just say one thing? I'm gonna go on like a little rant. This is like a 10-second rant. Simple. Or 20 seconds. But the more I look at Boruto, the more and more it reminds me of fan fictions on fanfiction.net. Because I'm like, there's a guy on 2016, 2015 who wrote a similar thing to what is happening right now in Boruto. Or like at least feels like it's similar. I don't know why. I always have that feeling when I read Boruto. But yeah, anyways,
okay.
Any other thoughts on this point about the loop?
I counted, and that was a 17-second rant.
All right.
Thank you, Oodie. You're great at counting.
Okay.
Okay, I guess it's an interesting idea. So, do you guys think that Shibai is evil, based on what I said earlier?
Well, maybe, yeah.
It would be the moral quandary. Is it evil to devour all life on planets?
I'd say so.
Well, but Mr. Spiraling, they were going to die anyways. Society. At least their death can have meaning through immortal life.
Yeah, not meaning for them and their culture, but meaning to the Otsutsuki's culture.
Well, the culture's going to die out anyway, since it's a fleeting lifespan.
They're going to die out in a great... I'd rather die on my own planet than die in the hands of someone devouring my home planet.
Well, Mr. Spiraling, it doesn't matter what you want since your life is limited anyways. It's a fleeting existence. It's not going to matter what you want when you're dead.
Before I'm dead, I'd rather my entire existence on the planet continue, not someone who's not from my planet tamper with it.
Yeah, but they're not taking anything away from you. I mean, you're still going from a mortal life to a mortal life.
A family is part of you in a lot of ways, so they are taking away something. They're killing you, destroying your honor in many ways. So I think most people would rather die.
Well, Mr. Spiraling, they're not killing you. The universe is killing you.
No, the Otsutskis are killing you. In the moment, assuming Otsutskis are the ones destroying your planet, devouring you.
Well, Mr. Spiraling, how would you die in that case? What would be the cause of death?
So you're dead.
Well, what's the cause of death?
What's the cause of death? I don't know. What?
Because wouldn't that be to blame and not Shibai?
What is the cause of death, Ood?
Well, you tell me. How does Shibai kill him?
how does Shibai kill people? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
He sucks the life out of them, which then does it through the god tree, and you get more powerful.
Okay, then the concept of sucking is evil.
Yeah, they're sucking someone's life out of them is evil. You're killing them.
Yeah, it's not Shibai's fault that exists.
It's Shibai who's doing it, so it's his fault.
Well, technically it's the Gatri who's doing it.
No, it's Shibai doing it via the god tree, so ultimately it's Shibai's fault at the end.
Immortal, what do you think?
Actually,
Who'd lost
if
to me
you've
that debate?
seen
I
how
don't
the
wanna
god
get deep
tree,
into this debate.
if you've seen how the god tree operates, you know that the god tree, even with Kage not being there, still can just like extend its roots out to potentially the corners of the Shinobi battlefield.
Yeah.
Well,
of the whole world.
So so pretty much it was able to grab all the Shinobi and drain all their chakra. I'm guessing the same thing could also happen, mainly because of the fact that the god tree might have a separate function from the Otsutsuki. I don't think it requires the Otsutsuki to have to manipulate the god tree to do so.
Can I just say one thing? This reminded me of something. If it has a separate function, you know how like I think it was it Naruto explain? I don't really respect Naruto explain for many things he said, but for Boruto I do respect. I do think he knows probably more than me in that case. For Boruto at least. For Naruto, no, I don't think so. I think I disagree with him on a lot of stuff. But for Naruto, for Boruto, he says that in Boruto that Momoshiki and Kinshiki are kind of like inspectors or detectives. At least that's what the way it's shown. As if they're like not as super high ranking people. They're just there to look at something to see how what Kogyo has been going along with. Which kind of infers that there's a massive Otsutsuki society there and that they have their own hierarchies or whatever. Is it like, do they have a thing in their society where the god tree acts on its own and they just utilize the god tree to suck it in? They always assume that someone's an Otsutsuki is going to come and eat their fruit eventually. Is that how it works?
I mean, that's
Like,
another thing. It's just a plant. It's not like it has a mind of its own. What are you going to say? The divine tree is evil just because it's thirsty? It needs nutrients.
No, I'm saying like...
So it's selfish, Mr. Spiraling, to value your life over the divine tree. So the divine tree deserves to die?
Yes, the divine tree deserves to die. My life is more important than the divine tree.
And why would that be?
Yeah, no.
Go ahead, Moro.
So what I was going to say is like the divine tree in of itself is technically a living being if it's a plant, because plants technically do need water. They do need the sunlight
and nutrients
to help them get and nutrients to help them grow, similar to how any tree or any flower or anything in your garden or in your yard, they have to grow.
And it's not going to grow indefinitely.
It's pretty much the same thing.
It's just
similar
taking
function with the god tree.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's not inherently evil. It's a tool.
Yeah, if you give it infinite people, it'll take a finite amount of people. It can't take infinite people. So there you go. So what do you say about them apples, Mrs. Spiraling?
No, but my question is, sorry, repeat what you said, Ood.
So what do you think about them apples, Mrs. Spiraling?
That what? I can't hear you.
When the UK guy doesn't know American terms.
No, I repeat what you said. I literally didn't hear
you. So what do you think about them apples, Mr. Spiraling?
Them apples, I said, I didn't hear that. What I think apples taste nice. I'm joking. I know what you mean. I know the slang. But I was gonna say, I mean, I get it. I still think you can be so selfish about yourself sometimes. It's not bad to sometimes be selfish. If that's gonna keep you alive, then sometimes it is a great thing to do.
Okay, then the divine tree is good.
No, it's not.
So what you're saying is the divine tree is morally correct in its actions, decisions, and choices.
And I'm morally correct for trying to save my own life from it?
Well, that's selfish, Mr. Spiraling.
It's selfish that it's eating me up.
Well, it needs those nutrients
Anyways,
to survive.
I need to not get my life sucked out of me to survive. Anyways,
so
so stupid.
So we can't consider
Wait.
something that isn't that it's a tool. Well, I would say it is a tool in my opinion because Otsutsuki's needed. But I'm not saying. Listen, I'm not. So what I'm going to say is this: you are not selfish for wanting to save your own life, but the God tree of itself is not selfish because it's not acting. It doesn't have a moral conscience. If you get what I'm saying.
Well, besides the one from the War Arc, because Kaguya fused with it, but besides that
well, yeah,
one,
Kaguya, that's different. That's different.
Kaguya,
but the other God trees, the other God trees, however.
My question is, Mike, whatever, yeah. My question is, what did you say at the end, Moto?
What I was saying is, the God tree in the war was fused with Kaguya. Okay, that's different because Kaguya is part of the God tree, and of course, when its roots extended out, every shinobi got their chakra sucked out because she wanted all chakra back. But any other God tree that isn't fused with the Otsutsuki is just merely a tool, and it's just doing what it's created to do. It's not inherently selfish.
Created the God tree. You know what?
So
okay, I want to say one thing.
Yeah.
You guys thought that's my question. Okay, this is a weird thing.
Shoot.
I think I've asked this before, but I don't know. I guess we never had a conclusion to it or an explanation. Would you guys agree that Momoshiki and Kinshiki were and all the Otsutskis are part of a greater Otsutsuki hive that have their own societal structures and stuff like that? Do we think we're eventually gonna get like a moment where we get like our main characters against the Otsutskis themselves? Because again, if we agree that Momoshiki and Kinshiki are just inspectors or detectives, what does that say about the story? Like, are there going to be more like Otsutskis gonna come to Earth?
Now, will Ikimoto do that? That's another question. But yes,
that's a question because it's a concept, but he might just be like, "Nah, I'm just going to use Shibai and I'm going to be lazy." I don't know. He's a pretty bad writer. He's done a lot of horrible writing.
Yeah, Ikimoto would do that is the problem. But we're just going to ignore Ikimoto for this and say yes.
Okay. No, but what would Ikimoto do? Do you think Ikimoto would bring in more Otsutskis from the Otsutsuki planet?
Well, I don't think Ikimoto would do that. I think he's going to tell his own story, which is part of the problem, but
making him a worry Kurama. Very smart decision. Or have Kurama, sorry. Actually, no, she is Kurama. They're one and the same now.
Yeah.
Which makes no fucking sense. Yeah. Excuse my French, guys. I never swear often. I just don't like Ikimoto. I don't like when people make series just because they want more money, not because they actually like making stories. That's
besides that.
It's truth. It's a truth. I love how the whole Naruto story is so incomplete because we never saw Naruto actually put the Hokage hat on himself. It was actually, come on, Konohamaru. Gotta say, you have to have such a smart decision to be Kishimoto. Honestly, what a smart decision! Like, what a great writer. Honestly, what a great writer. That's like one of the biggest problems in the series, and no one talks about how this man Naruto never actually officially become the Hokage. That's canon as well. It's technically canon because we have nothing else to prove that Naruto put a hammer on his head. There's nothing else in the story about.
I mean, it does prove that Madara was right.
No, Madara wasn't right.
Why?
We gotta do so much. No way. Okay, but why does actually no? Let me ask you this question, because I didn't understand what you exactly said. Why do you think it's Madara's right for Naruto not get put the Hokage hat on his head?
Well, it proves that Madara is objectively correct because Naruto is evil, thus wrong.
Well, that's just not part of what we're talking.
Well, yeah, Naruto's always been evil.
That might be your most controversial take. You know that. I will say I do agree Naruto is sometimes selfish, but early on in the series, but eventually he learns his lessons from people like Itachi and Jiraiya.
Well, no, but again, Itachi's just saying what Madara says anyways.
What does Itachi say that Madara says?
One's own reality is another's illusion. Baby.
Yeah, it's true. Everyone lives in their own reality. That's true. That doesn't mean you should.
Yeah,
force
Itachi,
everyone
the
into
guy who
unrealistic
understood
reality.
the flaws in the shinobi system and supported it anyways. Yeah, that guy.
You talking about Kakashi or Itachi?
Itachi. Kakashi doesn't
He
support the
supported it. I
shinobi
mean,
system.
we
He's
have to support
actively
something to
trying to
change
think
it.
of ways to remove the feudal lords, which Naruto never did. Kakashi's a true
Naruto's bit of an
Hokage.
idiot, but we can say under Naruto, you know, the Konoha has been doing pretty well. You know, the more the pieces come, because if you really think about it, the world became a little bit more stable because of nukes, because Russia, America, and China, all these countries had nukes. It was becoming a little bit more stable. So having a superpower is kind of necessary. These extreme superpowers, obviously the Biju being superpowers. So it is good that you have power, and that's what if you. I'm currently reading Volume 1 of Itachi. I've read Volume 2, no Volume 1. The book. Itachi does state you have to have power. Early on, he knows you have to have
Itachi's
power
evil and a
to dominate.
psychopath. He hates his brother.
Itachi doesn't hate Sasuke. What are you on about?
He's evil and a psychopath, and he lied to you, and you believed it.
So you think he hates Sasuke?
Yes.
Give you evidence why he hates Sasuke, no way.
The whole series.
I've read the book. I can give you notes right now. You know what? I will do that. I will literally right now go on camera, and I'll show you the word by word what he says when he sees Sasuke as a baby. I'll do that right now. It's in my bag right now. I'll show you.
Show me
by,
Itachi loving Sasuke so I can debunk it real quick. Go ahead.
Sorry, repeat what you said, dude.
Yeah, go ahead. Show me Itachi loving Sasuke. I'll debunk it. Go ahead.
Okay, guys, this should be a legendary clip. I'm not gonna lie.
Man, crazy how it's taken a while.
I've literally just opened the book.
I'm ready whenever. Weird how you're not ready whenever. Man, I wonder which side is correct here. The side who's prepared.
I've literally just opened the book.
Or
I'm about to get the scene of where he sees Sasuke.
The side who can't start.
Let me show you. Let me...
Well, whenever your screen wants to load. Oh, or not. It's probably because I was sharing my screen. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So.
Yeah.
Here we have the Itachi book, ladies and gentlemen. Itachi's story.
Yeah, the evil guy.
The good guy.
Literally uses black crows of evil.
Well done.
Literally black evil crows. They're scavengers,
Sounds
Mr.
like
Spiraling.
I'm joking. Anyways. Okay, here we have
represent death.
Anyways, so you're gonna see this, okay? And obviously, I think this moment in this thing starts off here. Okay, 5 years old.
Please take care of Sasuke. And then he massacred the clan and left the village, and then beat Sasuke up the one time he saw him years later.
What happens? Read word for word. The moment he gave voice, Sasuke, the moment he gave voice to his brother's name for the first time, something warm exploded in his heart, different from the love he felt for his mother and father. A special, indescribable emotion. In the end, 5-year-old Itachi couldn't really put into words just what it was. But faced with this ephemeral, how do you say that word? Ephemeral? Ephemeral, faced with this ephemeral life, a creature who seemed like it would shatter if Itachi even touched him. Something like a masculine sense of responsibility did indeed come to life inside him, the feeling that he had to protect this tiny life. Take care of your brother, his mother said. Itachi nodded, fiercely, hand still on Sasuke's cheek. That is more than enough proof to show he really cared and loved his brother Sasuke.
So he has a warm,
And the book.
indescribable feeling. He never calls it love. You know what else is warm and indescribable?
That is basically love. That is describing love.
Rage is warm and indescribable, Mr. Spiraling. It's fiery hot.
No, that the way he describes it is like love. That is love. Describing love. Literally, something like a masculine sense of responsibility did indeed come to life inside him. The feeling that he had to protect
wow. So Itachi's a man.
His brother,
this
that's
proves
love.
it. This proves it. It's testosterone, Mr. Spiraling. It's rage.
That's not true. Testosterone is not just rage, by the way.
It's masculine. Itachi's being a man
masculine
there.
It can also be loving. Masculine is also loving. You're assuming masculine is just toxic masculinity, which is not true. There are multiple forms of masculinity.
Yeah, so you remember when Kawaki said he hated the Karma Seal?
Yes.
Was he correct when he said that?
It's his own opinion, but what do you mean?
He was lying to himself, Mr. Spiraling.
What evidence do you have?
He says so.
Ooh, please make this a clip what we just talked about in the entire thing. That was really funny.
My point being, Itachi's lying. Why do you believe him?
No, he's not.
Why would you believe him? When has Itachi ever presented himself as trustworthy or truthful or an honest individual? Where?
So if I was in the room with Itachi and I was like, Itachi, there's one more cookie left. Dibs on me. Can you please not eat it while I go get a drink of water? He's like, yes, sir. I will not do that. And I go get a drink of water. When I come back, is the cookie still there or not?
Regardless of the cookies there or not, you're not going to get the chance to leave because he's going to put you under Tsukuyomi and torture you. Physical suffering, dumping you in lava for 2 weeks straight. Just because he can.
So you think he'll do that in order to and then fake that I actually the cookie's still there? Then he eats the cookie. Is that what you mean?
Well, no, he was going to do that regardless of the cookie. He was just going to do that anyways.
Well, anyways,
He's just
this all should be a clip. Just to show that Oodie is inherently wrong, and he ignored my hypothetical concept or hypothetical question because he just lacks the
concept.
intellect.
That's what would happen.
What would happen? Sorry,
is that Itachi would torture you.
My God, goodness me, bro! My God, Oodie just doesn't understand the concept of that Itachi is a good man, he was a good young man who was there to protect his brother.
Yeah, he's a good genocider. Yeah, he's a morally correct guy who murdered multiple people.
According to Tobirama, who wasn't racist because one of his teammates.
Tobirama is literally described as racist in the novels, but continue.
No. Tobirama actually had someone in his team that was Uchiha. You can't be racist, right? If one of your friends is Uchiha.
Literally described as racist in the novels, but continue.
It's fine. We have, it's fine. And if you just listen to Tobirama's sayings, the brains of Uchiha are naturally how to explain it? Are naturally a little bit crazy, right?
So Tobirama's performing lobotomies on the Uchiha, is what you're telling me. Lobotomizing them, Mr. Spiraling.
And we know that Itachi wasn't the one who killed the kids in the story. It was actually Obito, right? AKA Mother Uchiha, fake mother, right? In disguise as mother. Obviously, Itachi knew he wasn't mother.
No, Itachi did murder the children.
No, well, not a lot of them. Mostly was Obito. What you have to understand.
No, we're not.
You have to understand.
By the way, nice shifting of the goalpost there.
What do you mean?
Oh, he didn't kill that many children.
No, not that many.
First of all, we don't even know how many Uchiha there even were. He could have killed thousands of children, for all we know.
Well, according to the rough estimate I've seen, there was probably about 5,000 Uchiha. If that's a genocide, it's a genocide. Anyway, but look, there are reasons for Itachi. Itachi was always 13. he made crazy decisions. He probably regretted it in his 20s. Like, he probably did, right?
Okay, so we went from a good man to, oh, well, he was a kid at the time.
Yeah, you make mistakes when you're a kid, you know what I mean? Innocent.
Okay, well, we've really gone downhill with this whole Itachi being a good guy thing.
Well, Itachi isn't as bad as you think.
You're right. He's worse.
No, he's not. Okay, no, actually, okay, fine. We could, a lot of people could, sure, we could, let's for a second accept that Itachi's bad in a lot of ways. Did Itachi love Sasuke?
No.
That is just blatantly false and goes against the narrative of the story.
The narrative of the story tells you he loves the village, not Sasuke.
He loves Sasuke! He loves Sasuke!
Did Hashirama love Madara?
As a brother, yes.
No, he loved the village. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I proved my point there. Mr. Spiraling muted. Oh, welcome back.
No, I just had to discuss something. Point is, shut up, Mariam.
See, even he agrees with me. Shout out Liam or whatever, Layham, Layam.
That was my sister actually. Anyways, look,
well, let's get him on the mic.
Loved Sasuke. No, Itachi loved Sasuke. That's just a fact. And if you can't, I can reread you the quote, the things, by the way.
Well, I understand that's how you interpret it.
Sense of responsibility.
Yeah, I understand.
Couldn't even describe that feeling.
I understand your incorrect interpretation. I understand it.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to use another argument. Itachi's massacring the Uchiha shows that Uchiha are all bad because majority of the problems in the Narutoverse are caused by Uchiha. So inherently, it might be a good thing to have genocide. I'm joking. That's just a stupid argument.
Well, you see, Mr. Spiraling, there's one large flaw in that problem there. What's Itachi's last name?
Uchiha.
So he's a bad guy.
Yeah, inherently. I wonder what chat is saying right now.
So either the Uchiha are good guys and Itachi's bad for killing the good guys, or the Uchiha are bad guys and Itachi's bad because he's an Uchiha. You really fell into that one.
Yeah, but Itachi was like the one who realized his badness.
But speaking of chat, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Isn't the whole point of Jiro looking like Jigen / Ishiki because Code's white karma influenced the Shinju? I read these earlier, just didn't read these out loud. Well, considering he looks like Gaara and nobody and is a complete original entity and blah blah blah, and he looks like Naruto and he looks like Kawaki and he looks like 12 other people. He looks like Code, if you ask Kamui, anyways.
Anyways,
no.
Guys, I need to dip now. I need to go shopping.
Okay,
it was really good talking to you. I enjoyed this discussion. I was just joking. I will give the concession. I don't think Itachi's bad, but I do think he made a lot of mistakes. I do think genocide in Itachi was just a dumb decision.
Well, it's not a mistake. He chose to make it. He chose. No,
it chose to make it. Yeah, but I do think he might have, thought, thought what he did is bad when he was older. But that's just my opinion.
He did it through preference, just to make sure we're on the same page here.
We can discuss that another time. It was really good talking to you, Ood. I enjoyed it. We haven't had this debate in so long. I'm actually happy. I'm not even lying to you. I really enjoyed discussing with you, but we haven't had this kind of discussion in so long. Might have been over a year, you know what I mean? It warms my heart, right, my friend?
My god, Mr. Spiraling's in a rage. Everyone get out of the room. Careful. He's about to go crazy. He's about to unleash his testosterone.
The masculine volatility, the warm responsibility. Anyway.
Indescribable amounts. It's that intense. Oh god.
Yeah.
And Mr. Spiraling must be going through puberty or something.
I already passed that a year ago. Or, well, 4 years ago. I don't know. I'm 21, so it's already passed fully. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. See you guys. Bye. Bye.
Well, Immortal, are you even there? Yeah, I kind of figured out. Well, I guess I'll read this last chat here. What y'all think on Orochimaru's comment on being a slave to one's genetics in one of the one-shot mangas? I think you're talking about the Shin Uchiha arc, Naruto Gaiden, the Sarada Uchiha arc, whatever you want to call it. And that was kind of, or it was Orochimaru, but he was like playing off of Shin's ideology there. But yeah, that was like a big point because the next generation, like, I mean, they say this in the Five Kage Summit, referencing back to Shin, that Shin wasn't wrong. The next generation kind of can't compete against the Otsutskis just because like they're superior genetically and blah blah blah. So that's like something they need to like train the next generations, but like can they even live up to that? That's what Ao is saying, that no matter how much training Ao ever did, he would never be able to compete against anyone of that caliber. And it's arguably something that other people have said as well. That one time I referenced that one thing, I forgot what it was, but I referenced it. Because it was after the Al thing, and I referenced it to come back to the Al thing. Let's see, did I put it somewhere here, maybe? It's all just Attack on Titan. See, I doubt I'm gonna see the Al thing, and that's part of the problem, because I don't know where it's gonna be, but... yeah, it's gonna be here. Okay, that's going too far, so it's not gonna be here. So I don't know where it is, but there's also another thing where someone said something along the same lines, and I said it in like 2 or 3 streams ago, I think. But regardless of that, I don't even remember when or where I said it, but I mean, I don't even know if I deleted the L thing. Here, let's see. Did I delete the L thing? Control F L. And use topics. No, I guess I didn't delete the L thing. Oh, it's somewhere. Anyways. I'm glad I could answer that, which I probably didn't, but maybe I did. But no, I think it's cool. It plays into Madara stuff as well. So there you go. I don't know what this is in a reference to. But anyways, glad we could answer all that. Alright, I guess we were right about the 10th anniversary. Bye! Bye!